The D-pad contains crude language, cringe humor, and suggestive themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
We're gonna have a TV party tonight. Alright! We're gonna have a TV party, alright!
The cringe.
Oh boy. Hey
Hello.
guys.
Alright, here's a Tumblr post for you. Stop portraying white millennials as less racist than their votes and poll responses suggest.
Oh. Yeah, Austin's known to do this, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, first of all, how is everybody before? Because I'm like, oh my god, what did I walk into?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Everybody else? Mark?
I'm okay.
Austin, I believe? I don't think we ever met.
Hello.
He goes by the name Rebel Taxi.
No, I don't. Stop telling everyone. No, I just want to look at my photos of Raven.
Which Raiden? Mortal Kombat or full?
I said Raven. No.
Oh god.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've done that voice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just gets better every time I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like he's almost here.
You sound like the Zelda. Sorry, that old Zelda game on the computer.
No.
The CDI?
Yeah. Well, excuse me, princess.
Oh, that's
Excuse me, Madoka.
Oh, that's the show. Yeah.
Oh god. We are referencing so much right now.
Okay, let's start off. Yeah, welcome to the D-pad. I'm your host DZ Dog, and we're here with Trench, Dragonking Mark, and Ksapphire. Would you like to introduce yourself again after last time I kind of forgot to record the opening.
It's okay. Hello, I am Kitty Sapphire. I'm an illustrator. I'm a freelance illustrator, and I draw anime and celebrate my fellow otakus.
Represent.
Yay! And I'm very, very, very happy to be back on here, and it's wonderful that you guys thought of me to invite me again.
No problem. Yeah, I like having you on here.
I like being around very, very wonderful, kind people.
Okay, so anyone got any interesting topics?
This is a CBS News special report.
Well, we did make a bit of a list. But we'll save that for the next episode. We'll save some of that for the next episode.
How about New Samurai Jack episode?
Oh, I haven't watched any of that. I'm just actually almost done with Girl Login, so I'm trying to pace myself a little bit of what to watch. But I heard it was excellent, and Jack is not the hero that we once knew.
Oh, now he's back to being that, though.
Yep.
Oh, he's gotten to that point. Well, that sounds...
Shaved, got his yellowness back, which is kind of weird. It's like, what's wrong with this? What was wrong with his skin? He got a tan?
I
It's
don't
like,
know.
wow, he dishonored himself so much, he went white. Became a privileged male.
Oh, no.
No.
Bro, he got so privileged he had to get a bike and he didn't have to give insurance.
That's not right.
Yeah. Trench does this a lot. This is
We're gonna try to make an SJW cringe.
yeah. But yeah, so you've been watching Gurren Lagann? How have you been liking it so far?
Oh, I love it. I know a lot of people have been asking me, oh, you should watch this and watch that, and usually every time I get into one of my little, unfortunately, like my little slopes, I have like these little slopes every so often, and they're like, believe in the you. The famous line I can't remember.
Believe in
the
me that believes in you.
Yes, thank you. And they say that all the time, and I keep saying I have to watch Gurren Lagann. And lots and lots of twists and turns that I would never, would never think. Like
What happened to Kamina?
Well, yeah, that's for sure. Having spoiler alert to everybody. I didn't see I never thought Kamina would be the one that like gets killed in like, I don't know, at least a quarter, not even a quarter into the show, like at least 4 episodes in. So that was that was shocking. And then the fact that another spoiler, the Spiral King was not the main villain. It was a completely outside force, and I didn't see that coming. So they gave you a red herring, similar to what they did in Kill la Kill. But of course, this came out before Kill la Kill, so yeah.
Yeah. Gainax
Yeah, this was.
does some
Yeah,
interesting
this was.
stuff.
Yeah, this was Kill la Kill before it was Kill la Kill.
Yeah. But one of the things that I love about and there goes my phone. Sorry. But well, me and my boyfriend were watching it, and actually I thought that was a very interesting. We were watching it and we were having a little discussion. We're both biology nerds as well, and he works for a pharmaceutical. And I was saying to him, or he was saying to me, you know what? This reminds me of DNA. And here I am acting really silly, did not know what he basically meant. But he compared the whole entire show to actually how DNA chains separate and recombine with one another. And I was like, really? And then when I really thought about it, I was like, oh wow. He's actually quite right about that. So if you want to give somebody a biology lesson, let them watch Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, I think they make reference to that in one of the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Or near the end. I think it was the last episode, actually.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far. I've gotten to the part where Simone finds out that Nia is at this point, Nia is part of the anti-spiral. And he finds out that Nia is not what she proclaims to be. She's not this heartless individual. Because if that was the case, she wouldn't be wearing the marriage wedding band that Simone gave her. So, I thought that was really cool, and shining hopes for Nia, because I was cringing so hard. I was like, oh no, please, no, I don't want her to, basically, I just didn't want her to be considered a villain, and that's it. Because that would have just broke my heart.
Just rip my heart out, why don't you?
I know. I have a soft spot for certain moe characters, not every
You
single.
mean the weeb characters?
Oh, I wouldn't call them weeb. I don't know why.
Sorry, I might want to start shit tonight. My bad.
I'm sorry. If you would have put me in an anime, you would see question marks floating over my head after that comment, because I don't know.
Sorry, it's not you. It's just I have a prejudice towards anime because I believe anime in the 1970s and 80s are better than what we have now. because the moe and perverted shit was low key back then. It was all about selling a fucking toy, and the toys were pretty fucking sweet back then because we had Voltron, Go Lion, we've had numerous others. Mazinger Z is an obvious one, where we had this sort of really classic, justified artistic style to it, which we occasionally get with some animes, but for the most part, it's all slice of life stuff. Maybe it's because we lived in an isolated tech bubble age. Who knows?
Well, actually, to go along with that, I'm on the same boat, and yet I'm not. I try to be neutral when it comes to that because, I appreciate all different types of anime, slice of life, or what have you. But I cannot deny that, yes, well, with a low budget back then and, technology, you had to come up with really meaningful anime because that's how they got to eat. The writers and artists, so they have to make sure that they came out with some really, really good stuff. And also back then, they had time. Well, they had production wasn't as fast paced as it is now. Now with technology, everything is very fast paced. Everybody's craving a lot more. It's like, I hate to say it, we're technically drug addicts for this anime. And unfortunately, with the demand for anime, you're going to get some really good anime, and then you're going to get some duds. And I love this analogy that Digibro came up with, or the dissection of the anime industry, that hey, as much as we are spoiled back then with all these really excellent titles and these very well put together characters and what have you, those are sometimes a hit and a miss. A large quantity of the people are going to go for the fast-paced, easy-to-satisfy type anime. So in order for them to pay the bills, so to speak, and, get their food, they have to come up with these cookie-cutter, easy-to-slap together anime. So they can use that same money that they get to pay their bills and all this other stuff to actually put a little bit that money towards those that are well-crafted stories. Because not necessarily the innovated anime were popular. Was it?
But back then, children's anime showed people's heads being put on slabs.
They still do that now.
Yeah, but it's a lot scarier.
Akami got killed.
In Go Lion, you got to see human heads displayed in children's cartoon where the bad guy's like, look at what this world I've conquered, Father. I even brought you their heads as a trophy.
Well, remember, back in the day, also, this was something entirely new. Not a lot of people knew much about it. You also, westernized countries did not know that anime was not originally for children. But because of its appearance, they're like, oh, it's brightly colored and it's done by hand-drawn. We've been exposed to something like that only through, Disney and Nickelodeon. They're not going to put stuff like that up, but we don't know the fact that the Eastern culture is way different than the Western culture. The way they expose certain things. The Eastern culture, they're willing to show fan service or sexual connotation very easily. In the United States, we cringe when we say, referring to the reproductive organs of humanity.
Yep.
So
that's the weird thing.
I just cringe
Show
because
violence?
I'm a negative person who hates the world due to years of mental abuse by the world.
Agreed.
Hey, at least I'm being honest about it. People have to get this bullshit self-righteous region where it's like, no, I'm just an angry person. I'm the type of guy you see at a bar saying, am I still alive? They're like, yeah, keep giving me more booze and cigarettes. I'm the type of guy who tries to kill himself and the shotgun somehow breaks. God damn it.
I'm the type of person who tries to be neutral, but also try to expand one's mind and try to be optimistic about things. Because we have...
I envy that, because I tried to be optimistic once, Then I saw a toddler dance to ghetto music, very violent ghetto music. Then I just gave up immediately. It's like, maybe there's hope for the world. And then while he's doing it, his mom was cheering him on for that. And then I just sunk.
Define. Well, here's the thing. First of all, not all. If that's how you feel about it, you can't necessarily police everybody else.
Oh no, I didn't police them. I just stared and watched, put away my food, and then went to puke my guts out.
Well, I'm saying if you ever care to have kids at all, you know, make sure that's not what you teach them. Me personally, as you would put ghetto music, or I call hip hop, or
oh no, I don't mean hip hop. I mean like trashy versions of hip hop, like the most generic name brand version of it, not the cool stuff, like the kind you hear. Oh god, someone's actually listening to that. It's not even in a funny, ironic way. Like they cheer it, even though it says nothing. It talks about fucking girls in the ass.
Well, I agree, but you know, unfortunately, who am I? I can tell you right now, my selection of anime might be, I think it's like the most amazing thing in the world. But somebody might look at me and say, "Oh, wow, you like that?" I'm not
saying you're a bad person for liking what you like. I mean, hell, for goodness sake, I still like to collect Transformer toys, and everyone knows that franchise is a sickness they wish was cured.
Hey, I love Transformers.
I think Michael Bay made it worse, but...
Oh no! Once you're done talking, I'm going to spill everything about Michael Bay. I've come up with this amazing theory that will blow all your minds. But please continue speaking.
But I mean, you know, it's based on one's taste, and sorry, that's a terrible thing I said.
Yeah, don't mention Michael Bay and taste in the same sentence.
No. This is far removed from Michael Bay. I'm saying that whatever your interests are, and this applies to those who love anime. Like, it took me a while to understand why they say your waifu is trash or your husbando is trash, because even though you might think, oh my god, I would kiss the ground, the imaginary ground that they walk on, to another person it might not be good. To them it might be really cool, but to others it's not so much. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm not a Sword Art Online fan. I fell asleep. the first two episodes I fell asleep. And
Well, there's another reason why people do all that. Because they just want to see people get mad.
That's also a possibility.
It's like when some people say white people are racist even though they're not. It's just they just want to see a reaction. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, as long as it gives them the hits, it gets them put into conversations, because we're all basically train spotting in the end. If you don't know what I mean by train spotting,
I don't know.
I mean we're passing the time before our clock is up. Boom. Mind blown yet?
I suppose, me personally, I would not waste my time doing something like that. I would
No, we're not wasting time. We're just trying to pass the time. There's a difference between wasting and passing.
Okay. Well, in my opinion, I like to pass my time in a more productive manner, I suppose. So I guess to a certain extent, I can't necessarily relate. I'm too busy reading. I'm too busy spending time with people I care about. I really have no. I
do the same. It's just every now and then, like, you're at a building, you're in line for something, you're waiting for your coffee to get ready for you. You're on you're boarding a plane. You just might get the itch to cause a little chaos.
You know what? You sound
like
my boyfriend. Oh my god.
Okay,
I mean, I've caused chaos online. Like, I actually told the voice actor for Samurai Jack about the Samurai Bravo shipping.
Oh.
He's like,
Oh my.
interesting. Links, and Tumblr almost exploded.
Oh no.
They're like, shit, hide everything.
Mm.
Then,
I'm. This is the first time I'm hearing this, but you know. No. I'm sorry. You mentioned you 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 know it's just that the fact that oh dear, I lost my train of thought. I know you guys mentioned this a while ago. Like, I think in the last podcast that you mentioned it, the Johnny Bravo. I didn't know too much about it.
Yeah, apparently people ship Samurai Jack with Johnny Bravo for whatever reason.
It's amazing. It's so weird, but it's hilarious. I'm not making fun of it. It's the one I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty friggin' hilarious. And yet, Tumblr didn't start it.
I think that was because of that one promo where Jack and Johnny were in the.
That was no offense to people in the LGBTQ community, but that is the most homoerotic promo in cartoon history. It's just so awkward. People just like, that's the first thing people thought. Even as a kid, it's like, oh, those guys are totally, you know. It's just like, and I'm amazed.
Guys, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that was
That was. I thought that was a funny promo, and then I found out about this, and I'm like, oh my lord.
It got in your head, didn't it?
yeah.
No, just the thought about it was like, oh my god, what the hell have we been... I'm starting to question my life choices.
I think it's kind of cute. I don't think it's a bad one. It's harmless.
My apologies, gentlemen.
I mean, not all shipping is bad, as long as it doesn't go too far. What I mean by that is, there are people who ship so much that they begin to threaten other artists. Those are what we call the extremists. Now, shipping is healthy. It's just imagination. It's not canon. It doesn't relate to anything that these franchises are about. Nothing at all. It's just people goofing around with two characters like a kid playing with an action figure. That's all it is.
Actually,
but people do take it too far.
No, I completely agree with that. When actually it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun in games. It's only for fun. That's basically how it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, like you said, people take it a little too far.
Yeah, there's, I guess, joking, and then there's just going way too far.
Yeah, like it's just, trying to find that medium, or trying to acknowledge when somebody has gone too far. Because some people sometimes they don't even know.
Yeah, like, I think I've gone too far with things. Like, mostly, there is someone outside of these podcasts that I rant and rave about. He's called Movie Bob. He is someone.
Oh, I like him.
Uh-oh.
What does it matter?
Because I have very particular disagreements with him, and I think he's kind of got a Donald Trump thing when it comes to Twitter, where he says the most stupid things ever. When it's like, come on, man, you should be more professional. I don't have the right to be professional because nothing I do is professional, but you are a professional.
Well, I feel that everybody has a role to play when they're in the presence of people, and we call it professionalism. That is a technical role. This is how you play yourself or censor yourself when you're engaging with certain types of people. So I feel that particular ideal, may I mind you, goes for everybody.
Yes, but I do have to admit this. I do admire some of the things Bob does. He does make some very interesting videos, and sometimes I agree with some of his reviews. But when he talks about politics and gaming, I'm just going to stop it there like that. It becomes the straw manning.
Straw manning, what's that?
Straw manning is basically talking to someone that agrees with everything you say. It's mostly, you can see something like this in a movie called Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas, where a character says Jesus went up, blah 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 blah, and then Kirk Cameron says you're all wrong about everything. Then he goes, "Oh, that's straw manning."
So basically, not actually giving you proper evidence to actually change your particular perception. You just agree with everything that is presented to you. Yes.
Basically, you're
Correct.
the yes man.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I know what a that I know. That is a yes man. I know.
I don't agree with his review on Ghostbusters, but then again, like, that's just his taste in comedy, even though I love Paul Feig movies. I don't agree with his Game Overthinker series because, well, that's like picking a fight with a 2-year-old, in my opinion.
And that
heard of
never
this
goes
game.
well.
I never heard of that game.
Me neither.
Oh, it's his review series, I think.
It's where he talks about video game politics and stuff, where he actually says that Gamergate was a plot to stop Hillary Clinton from becoming president.
What? That's some Alex Jones
This was
level
before the
nonsense.
This was like during the Obama stuff.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
God.
Questionable. That's
Yeah.
very outlandish to
I have
say.
a friend that did a video on it where Bob kind of tried to manipulate E3 to get rid of shooter games because of a certain incident that happened at a nightclub.
Oh man, I heard
Oh,
about
you're
that.
talking about the Florida nightclub
Yes.
situation,
By
and
the
I
way,
feel
if
really
any of our
bad.
listeners are from that, I am very sorry for what you guys went through.
I
People
actually
like
have.
that are
I got-
very intolerant of people who just want to fall in love, and what happened to you shouldn't have happened to anyone in their lifetimes.
I agree.
Nope. Nothing. That should not have happened at all. It just
Those are the
shows
blood
that
of-
this.
Sons and husbands.
And daughters,
Wait,
aren't they?
I thought it was an all-dude club, but
Oh, I
could be
don't know.
wrong. I
'Cause
could
thought,
be wrong.
you know,
But
there
besides
could
the
be
point,
some,
It's,
you know,
it's wrong for people to manipulate an event of tragedy to suit your ideals. It
And
got
the
so
media's-
bad on Twitter. Movie Bob has even been called out by the ACLU.
what's the ACLU?
They're the people that defend people's freedoms. Like, well, they're basically the target of a lot of Christian hate,
Mhm.
even though they defend them.
Hmm.
It's so stupid. It's insanity.
Well, it's not about, unfortunately, we give ourselves these horrible, horrible labels. It's not the labels should dictate a person, it's your actions. And, you know, if you're the type of person that tries to defend them, no matter where they come from, prove them wrong through their actions. Their names
They
and
do.
labels mean nothing. Or shouldn't
That's
mean
what the ACLU is. It's an organization to help people's rights. It helps people who are Muslims, Jewish, gay, so on. But also they even help people that are kind of against all those people because they believe in, you know, preserving people's freedoms, whether you like it or not.
I
You know, those
understand.
type of incidents.
Mhm.
And Bob
Yeah.
is like, hanging behind. It's like, no, I didn't get kicked out of ACLU. Please leave me alone. And like,
In all honesty, it's all fun and games until someone takes it too seriously. That's the sad thing about this day and age.
it's
You
just
can't
a prank,
say-
bro.
No,
It's just a prank.
we do take. I think that's the problem with us.
we take things
I
too
think
seriously.
We're kind of an overpopulated civilization that kind of takes itself a little too seriously when, for God's sakes, we evolved from a monkey.
Well, some people also, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but some people don't believe that. But
I
what's
know.
amazing about it is if you were to compare it, whether the evolution is from a monkey or a cell, either way, it leads to.
It leads to conversations and stuff that honestly I would prefer
Never
to stay
end.
out of.
Mm.
I know, but it's just like
Too
I
much
kind of
stress.
see like reality is a joke because I follow the philosophy of a great comedian known as Andy Kaufman.
Never
You
heard
should
of it.
research him. He has done bizarre things. Like, he created a character called Tony Clifton that got thrown out of a cooking show because he pretended to be drunk and throw eggs at this woman that was hosting it. It's like she had the footage burned. And like, he didn't make for it.
Shit.
And, like, no one knew that was Andy underneath all that latex stuff. Like, he created the most elaborate pranks of all time that people still think today that he's alive. Supposedly he died of cancer, but they said I doubt it because he he'd have events like this where he'd come out as like, okay, a voodoo priest cured him. It's like, this man was a legend. He was a legend.
He is the Legend 27.
No, Mark.
He is the Legend 27. He turned back
Both
into
of
Andy
you.
Kaufman, the 60-year-old man.
Stop.
Hi, everybody. I just found this thing right here.
Oh man, I just had to make that joke. I'm sorry.
Like, he actually did a full-scale stand-up comedy routine
Be right back.
where he just sat down and ate ice cream. And everyone just laughed their ass off.
Yeah, I heard about Andy Kaufman. I remember a lot of people were comparing Coppercat to Andy Kaufman for some reason. For a long time. Like, his character was just that insane. His old
Best recommendation I can give you is the Jim Carrey movie Man on the Moon.
I do like Jim Carrey. I do love Jim Carrey very much.
He did Andy justice.
Okay.
But I warn you, the movie kind of fucks with your head a little because that's the style of Andy's comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I don't think you're a bad person for how you view your things. We're just two human beings who see different things. We come from different backgrounds. We come from different ideal sets. We come from two different worlds. But at least there's something we can both agree on and enjoy.
Yes.
That we
Yes,
are
I
not
agree.
yelling and screaming at each other, calling ourselves horrible names.
Nope.
I feel,
we are
yeah,
all
it's not
cool.
needed. That's not needed.
Not
So I
needed
will
at all.
retire for a little bit so everyone can discuss amongst themselves. And stay tuned for my Michael Bay theory. Begin,
Oh.
gentlemen and woman.
Alright, So, did you guys read about that one game that was being made by, Namco Bandai? It's like...
Code Vein?
I heard about. Wait, the recent game that you just showed during. Let's see, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Code Vein, yes?
Yes,
Yep,
Code
that's it.
Vein.
It looks so interesting, and I have the biggest yen for vampire stories, supernatural stories. Like, I think I mentioned that in the last podcast that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're singing my swan song.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they're, gonna really be doing with it. I don't know if it's just gonna be a one-off or maybe a sequel. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Maybe
Oh.
it's kind of a spin-off of Bloodborne.
That could be a possibility, maybe.
I don't know, but me, my friends Cody and David, we saw that and we are all like, we want this game. We want this game. Just looking at it, it's just, yes.
Well, it's definitely very, very pretty.
Yeah.
It's definitely pretty.
I just hope the online isn't gonna be
What if-
insufferable.
What are you looking for in this game, actually?
Well, I guess an interesting lore, like, what the Dark Souls universe does is, like, it basically makes it so you have to dig into the item descriptions and, like, piece the lore together. If it's just like that, I'm good.
Okay.
Does that mean somebody's going to tell us the world is going to roll us? Because I don't think I'm the sharpest tool in the shed.
Oh,
French.
very funny.
No more. I can't handle all this cringe.
Dan and Dragon are like, you son of a bitch.
And you get on me for liking just one Fred Durst song. I don't even really like it that much. I just kind of like the instrumental.
Oh, wait, I forgot to bring this up. What did you guys think of the Alien Covenant trailers?
Scary as
Hmm.
fuck.
I love supernatural stuff and science fiction, but I'm not a horror fan. Sorry.
For some reason, I actually am comfortable saying this. I get attracted to H.R. Giger designs.
Oh, you mean his art? Or his art
Yes,
designs?
and when I see the Xenomorph, I kind of get a little weak at the knees. Creepy Arcrum way.
Well, it's definitely to each his own.
I'm kind
I'm
of like
not.
the weirder version of a furry. I'm a Xeno.
Well,
You're just so disturbed.
no, I'm trying to actually put my words together when I have those types of situations, but I don't know if I mentioned this in the last podcast. A lot of my artwork ranges from safe for work, so not safe for work. So I've seen quite a few different things over the years, including the furry community and their particular subgenre, which, by the way, I do think they're quite adorable. With their bright,
They're like
their
cute
bright
little
colors.
cartoon mascots.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So for you to say that, oh, you know, to be embarrassed behind something like that, I'm the last person to I'm the last person.
And there's
to-
nothing wrong with that. I actually respect you now.
Hmm?
I respect you now because you're not trying to make a big deal out of things. You're being very polite. Unlike me, I'm loud, obnoxious, clearly psychotic, but
But that's your thing, and that seems to be you as an individual, and it's fine. And trust me, I have some people in my life that are.
but I am a force to be reckoned with.
Then you haven't met my boyfriend, then.
He and I should team up and just wreak havoc on the world.
Please.
Imagine our powers combined. No one will stop us.
You got room for a third?
Huh? No.
Evil lightning in the background. Can someone put that in?
Yes.
The triumvirate rides again. Now we just need a fourth, and we'd be the four horsemen of the
Hurricane
apocalypse.
Trench. It's like we were just having a normal day. Then this blog post came out of nowhere. See people being rushed to the hospital, neck braces. The post was so powerful it caused massive blackouts.
And people were
That's
rioting in the streets, yelling
Not our
gibberish.
post! Not our post! Oh. You see just a picture of me with a thumbs up getting burned.
All while orchestra
Pure
music
fucking
plays in the background.
Anarchy.
Oh, I don't know what's going
While
on.
Lust for Life plays. Burn out.
I was gonna say orchestra music, but that works too.
Lust for
Oh, I
Life
love-
is the best song ever.
I
Dark-
love
Sorry.
orchestra. No, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I love orchestra music.
Oh, do you have a favorite composer?
Oh, there's so many. Oh.
Whoever, for me, it's whoever composed the Dark Souls soundtracks, because that guy's a god.
I
It's
like
hard for me
the-
to choose.
Yeah,
Like,
it's really hard.
I really like synth orchestra. I would consider it a synth orchestra. His name is Vangelis. He is very well famous in film history. He composed the music for the hit film Blade Runner.
Oh.
Blade Runner. I never saw the movie.
It's
A
pretty
friend-
good, but it's kind of boring.
Ooh.
It's a detective story. You don't really get to see much future shit.
Yeah,
Most of it takes place inside places, but when you see the future, you're like, holy shit.
future's dirty. No, but it's a good movie. I think a lot of people like the aesthetics of it a lot more than the actual plot and philosophy behind it.
Yeah, it talks about legacy.
It's aesthetically pleasing.
Because there is a speech in this film that I recommend you watch it. The speech will haunt you. And not in a scary way, but more like in a way where it's like, wow, that was actually really deep. Because it talks about two things, identity and mortality. Because it's basically a world where humans and synthetic humans live amongst each other, and like humans and like all that stuff, like synthetics are slaves basically, and they don't live long. So they want to preserve their life as long as they can.
and one of them's kind of having a bit of an identity crisis with like, what's going to happen to me when I'm gone, when my time is almost up. While Harrison Ford's character is someone who doesn't like who he is, because he is a bounty hunter that's just sent to fucking murder them. Because they're not allowed on Earth.
Oh. So they're slaves and they're not allowed to be on Earth.
Yeah, because they're robots.
Yeah, they're like
sent to other colonies and other planets
Yeah.
as work, soldiers, or other. I think you know what the other is.
Then, no, I do not know.
Well, pleasure.
Oh.
Well, it's the future. Obviously, someone would design a robot for that.
Yeah, the future robot designs end up getting
But it
pretty.
fits the world because the world of Blade Runner is very dark, very industrial. Like, it's cities built on top of cities, where you just see... It's a very, not post-apocalyptic, it's very just after humanity is saying, hey, we're leaving this planet.
Like, I guess it would be a little bit of like a Deus Ex Human Revolution vibe with Hengsha, if any of you guys remember that city.
It's
It's
kind
one
of
of
like in Ghost in the Shell, where you see how the city looks, only it's always night because, like, the skyscrapers and the freaking clouds from the buildings just, like, cover all the sunlight, so it's really neon lit. And it's, like, it's weird because it combines so much cultures into it, because Los Angeles has become, like, this huge sort of, melting pot. So you see different sectors of the city. You see one that represents Iraq, you see one that represents Japan, and you meet people that speak this thing known as city speak, which is a combination of every language in the sector.
That's interesting.
That's so convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because so many people live in the city, obviously people need to know all of them to get around, and obviously they've created one that anyone can hear.
I wonder if that will actually come into fruition.
One day. I mean, people like to think these movies predicted the future, but people were actually inspired to make them because of these movies. So I hope they use the technology correct. I want the Fifth Element future, where everything's kind of very cheerful, wonderful, because I do have hope. You know, I hope mankind does become good. So that Bruce Willis can save the world.
I would not necessarily like the Fifth Element future in the sense of environmentally speaking, because the Earth is polluted, unfortunately. As far as camaraderie and actual...
Well, that and Chris Tucker still exists in that one, so that's a sad
That's
part.
true.
Dude,
Oh no! Hey, I like Chris Tucker. I
Dude,
think he's nice.
Oh no, you gotta do that there, man! Oh!
I grew up on Chris Tucker, okay?
Yeah.
I was 3 Rush Hours.
Yes, he's hilarious.
2 is still my favorite.
I really would just like a movie where he's just a star in the U.S. Oh wait, that happened. That was called Rumble in the Bronx, and that was freaking awesome. Seriously,
So-
that movie is pretty cool.
Oh, I never saw it, unfortunately.
You could just see it on YouTube or Dailymotion or something. There are a
Rush
lot
Hour-
of good movies. He even did an anime adaptation movie.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's called City Hunter, and he didn't get to speak in it with his own voice. It was dubbed by an American or Canadian guy, but it feels like an anime movie.
Kick ass.
Oh, I remember that movie. That was Jackie Chan. He was fighting those the Street Fighter characters for some reason. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That was.
Yes,
Oh.
Badass.
it is. Jackie Chan, when he dies, the world is going to mourn. I feel bad saying that. Like, well, automatically he's like, dude, Jackie Chan.
Dude.
It's like, you did.
Dude, Jackie Chan is one of my top 5 heroes. Next to Chris Tucker, Jet Li, I guess Michael Jordan because I grew up with him in Space Jam, and who else?
I'm more of a Jean-Claude fan.
I don't know what any of you guys are talking about because
We
my
grew up
heart.
in the old days of action movies where it was so stupid it was fun.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand that, but my heart belongs to the one and only Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee, yeah. In fact, he actually knew Jackie.
Yes, he did.
beat the shit out of him one time.
He also beat the shit out of Chuck Norris.
And now look at them. They're martial arts kings.
But
They got
wait a
blessed.
Well, he didn't necessarily beat the crap out of Chuck Norris. I mean, he did in a movie, but he also taught him what he knows.
Yeah, he was Chuck Norris kryptonite, but he's gone now. There is nothing to stop him. He could survive a tornado and still eat breakfast. Whatever his facts. But yeah,
He could
back
go
to
toe to
Aliens.
toe with Segata Sashiro,
Sanjiro.
and
I
literally
think
they
that guy does do more acting in a lot of other things. Like, I hear he's really big in Japanese movie markets. Japan has pretty good movies.
Yeah.
Recently, their anime adaptation movies have been getting better. They
Yeah.
did like our Ghost in the Shell movie, which I really enjoyed, despite the controversy.
I didn't see. What was the controversy? I didn't get a chance to see it, unfortunately.
it's about
Oh,
Scarlett
it's the
Johansson.
race thing. But
Well, I mean, I can understand both sides of the spectrum, because it's like, unfortunately, you're giving up a lot of. Okay, when it comes to cultural pieces, we are not represented very well. I mean, based on a character that's from Japan, or based from a character who's from Africa, any other country, they don't pick a person to actually represent that culture.
Mhm.
It's usually, unfortunately, whitewashed. And unfortunately, it's been going on for so long, finding the difference between what is actually truly whitewashing and which actually is not, it's kind of blurred.
I felt
But-
like this was an unfortunate accident. It's like, oh no, we didn't mean for it to be like that. We just really wanted to play these guys.
But yeah, because you have some people that are generally hardcore anime fans. Now, on a marketing standpoint, I can understand where they're going for, because people are not going to go for somebody that they don't know. A lot of people react a lot more positively with somebody that they do know. So who has been in quite a few movies and knows how to do a lot of the spy-ish type movements and able to hold their own? Scarlett
Yeah.
Johansson. So
But don't worry, Japan's getting back at us by Asian washing Full Metal Alchemist. So it's. I think we're.
Oh,
wait a second.
No,
Full Metal Alchemist doesn't play in a particular area. It
Well-
would be different if it was like Attack on Titan, and clearly it
everyone
has a
in
lot
Full
of
Metal Alchemist has a Germanic sort of origin thing. Plus, I always viewed the cast as mixed, but again, it's all about perspective. Like, I didn't know Motoko was supposed to look Japanese until I saw the original movie. It's like, oh, I kept thinking they were going to bring the one from Standalone Complex. It's like, my bad.
What I want is a reboot. I was about to say remix. Sorry.
Remix.
I want a reboot of Black Butler. That movie was horrible. That movie
I
was
wouldn't
so
mind that
bad.
with Johnny Depp as
No,
as-
no, no. You're not.
well,
You're not
younger
going to
Johnny
do.
Depp.
You're
Keanu
not
Reeves.
going to do. You're no.
John
you're
Wick.
not going to.
Keanu Reeves is
No,
Samurai Jack.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, I'm sorry.
Brendan Fraser.
No, you cannot do that to my husband. No, how dare you?
Steve
Michael
Buscemi.
Bay.
Steve Buscemi.
I
Hera,
would
no.
like to watch that.
No, you guys are. You guys are drunk. Go home. You guys are drunk. Go home.
Bruce Campbell. Can't diss the Bruce.
Of course.
I swear. No, that's the
Okay,
same.
How about actual British people? Eddie Redmayne?
You know who I would think would be a good Sebastian? Have you guys seen the television show Lucifer?
Oh
No.
yeah, that guy.
Yes.
You know, that charm really does work. Good
Mhm.
eye. You get a gold star. Here.
Yay!
Get a wonderful gold star. So back to Ghost in the Shell real quick. I actually really enjoyed the movie. Seriously, the best parts of this movie are with the characters Motoko and Batao. They are straight out of the first movie. It's like, yeah, they talk like how they should. Batao's a drunk. He knows he can't get drunk, but he drinks anyway. And he's like, I'm not going to kill you because that would just piss you off.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, that's something he'd say. It
Also,
just sucks that they're not going to get a sequel.
Yeah.
Because I really would have loved to have seen a sequel where, like in Standalone Complex, where Batou has to chase a serial killer who rips people apart that he knew during war.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
That
that.
episode was beast.
Well, hopefully in the near future they'll do something else that would bring it forward. Because let's face it, took quite a few tries before they got the comic book movies correctly.
Oh,
Or-
yeah, we had
interesting.
a very bad Captain America movie. We almost got a really crappy Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
But
Thomas is going to join us in a bit.
Yay!
I don't hate anime adaptations unless they're Dragon Ball.
Ugh.
That movie was terrible. I didn't hate the casting. It's just what
What?
they did with it. They did
I know.
nothing to it. They just
I
did.
know.
They took a look at it. I didn't mind who they got to play Goku. He just didn't act like Goku.
No, he's supposed to be kind of an airhead. He's not that smart. He's not that bright.
He's just really nice.
Yeah, he's happy-go-lucky, which that's what we love about him.
Like there's my favorite Goku moment is where he's fighting his own brother to the death, and he goes behind him. He's like, "Hey, got your tail?"
Oh, you like that scene.
That's funny. It's just like that just shows he's not scared.
And what crushed me was him going to school. He hated going to school in the actual show. He didn't really pay it any mind. And they throw him into a high school setting and have him bullied by actual... I swear.
By
I
a
was
guy
like,
named Texas Battle.
Oh.
and I'm like, if the real Goku were to come in, he would basically break your arms without a second thought.
Plus, he'd probably make friends with everybody there. He's like, "Hi, everyone." He's like, even if they don't want to be his friend, he's like, "You're now my friend."
Yeah, and even before that, yeah, you're 100%. He's just a lovable lug that you can't help but smile when he comes into the room.
Like
He's-
Ed
he
from
has
Ed,
that
and Eddie.
very happy. He's a very happy soul, and
Yeah.
when you see him win a fight, and he isn't dumb, he's just very naive. He's very smart. If you can master that sort of combat moves, that doesn't make you stupid. That makes you pretty much a genius.
He's
but
a
just in
combat
another
genius.
field.
Yeah, no, okay, then that's my fault. I apologize for saying
Absolutely.
something like that.
It's
But-
no one's fault. You're doing good.
Yeah, don't worry.
But it's just, I agree with you. What they did with Dragon Ball was extremely awful. It
But
was
it's not
just
as bad as what they did to the new Powerpuff Girls.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'll kind of agree. It's
I
not
bet if
as
Gendy
good.
Tartakovsky saw what they did to he and Craig's baby, he'd just be like, "Can I get them on Adult Swim, please?"
Laura Faust.
That would be a pretty cool ending to Samurai Jack. Is if like Aku's defeated in the past, he becomes a puddle in like a reservoir, and you just see footsteps march towards it, scoop black tar out, put it in a vase, and it's shipped to some guy's house. Then the box opens up to see the professor's face. Then he marks it Chemical X.
If it turns out to be that, then dear God.
That would be pretty sweet, though.
That would.
Well, that reminds me of a comic book artist who puts all the cartoon or
Oh
Bleed
yeah,
Man.
my friend Teacup.
Bleed Man, yeah.
Love it. I need to get
Yeah,
back
thought
to
you
him,
were
actually.
Teacup.
No, he thought you were talking about Teacup.
No, Bleed.
Teacup
I believe.
Ballerina.
I don't think I know that one. I know that person.
Oh, just check her out on DeviantArt or Tumblr. She has really good art. She matches Gendy and Craig's style almost perfectly. She
Okay.
even has unique styles because she's created a comic series where Aku tries to take over the Powerpuff Girls world, and it
Oh,
shows
dear.
like differences in style. As you see him in the Gendy verse looking like how he should, then he goes to the Powerpuff Girl verse where he looks like a little bit different. Which
Okay.
I'm like, okay, this is a good idea. Like, it shows interdimensional travel, which I'm obsessed with, by the way, because I grew up reading things like, H.P. Lovecraft,
Oh.
Gulliver's Travels, stuff like that, and I just, When I see
Okay,
movies
I
like
gotta figure out
Prince
why
of
that-
Darkness and The Void, it really piques my interest, and I feel like that really captures that, but in a really stupid way, and it's hilarious.
Okay.
Shy, I'm trying to figure out what page I was at the last time when I was reading Powerpuff Girls D.
Powerpuff Girls D?
Yep.
The Dojinshi.
Okay. Oh.
Hey,
Mark.
I was 13 years old once too.
Stop mess. Just close the
I
tab.
mean, it's not a bad read. I actually really like the idea that Blossom is in love with Dexter. I think that's,
Aww.
and plus, it becomes more apparent, like when she finds out in the comic that Dee, spoiler alert, is dead.
What
Yeah,
happened?
that was. Oh my god.
I didn't expect that. It's a pretty good comic series. Now later, it just kind of sucks. It lost all the hype.
What happened?
Grim Tales, it was a fun idea, but I was an angsty teen back then. Now I look at it and go, God, this is terrible.
What are you talking about? Grim
Grim Tales from
Grim
down
Tales.
below. Another comic Bleed Man's doing.
Okay.
Bleed
Mark-
Man is a fantastic artist.
Yes,
He's
he is.
absolutely fantastic. Everything he does is fantastic. You want to know why he's fantastic? Because everybody tells me he's fantastic. Absolutely. A million people send me death threats now.
Yeah. No more fake news.
Please, no more Donald Trump impersonation.
No,
I wasn't
please.
impersonating Donald Trump. I was impersonating my racist neighbor.
Oh.
Oh, there's a difference there,
I'm banging Jack Quaby's wife, as usual, when it suddenly occurs to me that tomorrow is Quaby's birthday. So I get this automatic camera, we take this great shot where I'm doing her from behind, we're both waving at the camera, and we got big smiles on our faces. I get the film developed, and I put the picture in one of those frame cards, and I have everyone in the bullpen sign it. Then I write in big letters, Happy Birthday, from the guy who pays your bills and your wife!
Oh, stick burn.
Because I had a personal experience. Well, is it okay I can ask this question?
Sure, go ahead.
Is it possible, out of sheer curiosity, what convention experiences have you guys had?
Never been to one.
Oh, you never been?
Been to a couple where I just stare at people, walk away, stare at a toy I want to buy, and walk away.
Oh, you guys never been to?
I've been to one. I've been to Comic Con 2012. Yeah, it was all right. I remember Stan Lee was there. He's doing that whole kamikaze thing.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
He doesn't. He always does all these Comic Cons.
Yeah, that was like the
But
only.
then again,
con
without
convention.
him, the comic book boom wouldn't have really,
Uh-huh.
happened in the modern age, because if he hadn't really participated in the Spider-Man movie, then there would be no superhero movies. But Spider-Man, despite how flawed it is as a movie, it brought them back.
Yes, I would have to say.
It's
would have
right
to
up there
agree
with
that.
the Richard Donner Superman and Tim Burton's Batman, which, looking back at Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman, really made me love Tim Burton's Batman again, because it captured the raw energy and bizarreness of the Tim Burton verse. It feels like Zack Snyder says, okay, I just saw Tim Burton's Batman for 12 hours yesterday. I want to make that like a movie. It's like,
I wouldn't be
prefer an
surprised.
original Batman story. It's like, no, we're bringing Batman back to the glory days where he killed people indiscriminately, like in the 80s version. Someone goes, but it's not 1980s anymore. Then he just smacked the shit out of that guy.
Yeah, he fucked the Joker up in that movie.
Oh, that wasn't his fault, though. That was the other guy.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with that. So, yeah, what your convention experiences? What?
Well, your impersonation. Well, it wasn't impersonation. It was impersonation of your neighbor. Remind me of my two experiences. My recent experience at the past two conventions that I was in. I got a chance to. First of all, I never got a chance to do two cons back to back before. and this was the first year I ever did that. So I was at Anime Boston as a security over there, and I was also at Undiscovered Realm Con and did a booth over there. And the Undiscovered Realm, I was doing my table, and I'm sitting there with my boyfriend and my partner, and we're sitting there, and we actually did very well this time around, because this is the second time I've actually done a booth. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, while we're almost about to close up shop, a guy is cosplayed as 45. I don't call him by his real name. But he dressed up as 45, and he's doing the impression, and I just cringe. I could feel my spine just like tingling, like, oh my god. I'm like ready to jump up and say something really horrible. Then I found out it was a cosplayer, and I was like, oh my god, they did it way too well. I felt so bad. I felt so bad for that person, but he did it too well. And
well, Trump is a meme now.
Yep.
Because literally at his inauguration, he played All-Star there. You're just like, what?
I don't acknowledge him. I don't consider him a threat. If anything, it's the people that are in office that are a threat. But that's...
Why is it that whenever I see Trump, I feel like he's going to sing about all the bad things I did at Wonka's factory? But look at here, babe.
Well, anyway, so there was that. So your impersonation just triggered that memory. But the one in Anime Boston, oh my goodness, it was just a really good time. What is it? They had like somebody dressed up as was it Colossal Titan?
Mm-hmm.
The Colossal Titan, and he had a sombrero on, and he was playing Latin music in the middle of the hall, and everybody was basically dancing, and him shaking his maracas, and I was like, what did I just witness here?
You witnessed, okay, it's just people wanting to just spread madness.
Insanity.
You know, let the insanity go, because madness, to quote a great man, madness is the emergency exit.
Well,
in case you're wondering, that great man was the Joker.
Oh god. Well, I can say this much. That that's one of the reasons why I love going to cons, because you never know exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna get all different types of experiences. You're gonna meet some really phenomenal people. Sometimes you can meet some crazy people at that.
Mostly the big sweaty ones. Those ones actually scare me because they look like they're about to kidnap the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh god. Actually, that not. I hope whatever you guys do, I'm not bragging, but I am a 13-year veteran at New York Comic Con.
Cool.
I only go to the Comic Cons in my state. I live in.
Yeah, actually.
You live where?
Indiana.
Oh, that's not. You make it sound like it's horrible. What's it like?
We have a really good convention center. It's always overcrowded. The food areas.
I never buy anything from the convention halls because it's overpriced and the lines are ridiculously long. So it's not worth to wait in line. I just go out to get something to eat and then come back in.
Oh yeah, like I go to this place called Dick's. It's like this weird bar where they insult you there.
I beg.
Like, cause I went to this con with my dad. He likes going to this cons with me, and he's like, "Hey, did you pay for your ticket?" He's like, "Oh no, I did." Then she wrote a hat that he says, "Thank God I have a trust fund."
I'm confused.
Everyone just okay. That's the point of this restaurant. The workers are allowed to yell at you, allowed to be mean to you, call you.
Why?
Dude. I don't know. Apparently, they get sadomasochist markets.
Oh my.
But it's kind of hilarious, some of the things they write, because my dad's hat, his said, "I had better food in prison."
Ooh.
It's like, don't think you should say that about the place you work. You get fired. She's like, good.
That's creepy. I want to go home.
I want to go home. She goes up to your face like, this is home now, bitch. It's like you're on an episode of Scared Straight.
Oh, that's horrible.
Beyond Scared Straight at Dick's.
That is so terrible. But out of all of my 13 years of going to New York Comic Con, I went. I believe this was back in 2014. 2015 is when I actually retired. But in 2014, I went with my my boyfriend, and we went all 4 days. And the last panel that we went to was copyright infringement. And there was this person, when you said, like, big sweaty guy, unfortunately there was somebody that fit that similar description, and he was asking question beyond question beyond question, and everybody, I could see everybody starting to roll their eyes and get really irritated, because it's like, you're not letting anybody else get a chance to speak. And this guy went to, I think, 2 panels that I was in, and I felt bad for the people, but I also felt bad for him because he doesn't realize what he's doing. You know, clearly this person, a lot of conventions that I notice, a lot of the attendees are very socially awkward. And sometimes I get kind of worried, especially as a security person, you know, people that don't go to conventions that often, or people that are on the outside that have no interest in the geek community, can't understand how the people and attendees work, and let alone some of the unspoken rules that they have. And it's just that, you know, sometimes they cross the line on various different things, and it's like, it makes me like cringe a little bit, like, oh my god.
It's understandable, because there are people out there who don't get out much. People who don't have lives. There are people who are very much disconnected from reality. You are connected to a form of reality, but you are still connected. People like that are very awkward. They don't know personal space. They don't know boundaries. They don't know a lot of things. And we can all be guilty of doing this every once in a while, but if they do it every 5 seconds, then you have a major problem. And it is right to be concerned about that, but don't overreact about it yet. Wait for them. Just keep an eye on them. If they start doing things like harassing the male or female cosplayers, which is an issue at a lot of events, there are people who have groped the male and female cosplayers.
Yeah. I'm starting to see an uprise in male cosplayers and male complaints about it, because, you know, we have this ideology that, oh, males can't be sexually harassed, but we all know that's not true.
Men can be. It is more subtle when it comes to men, which is unfortunate, but it is very serious still, because here's the thing that I think you and I can agree on. We don't want anyone to be harassed. We just want everyone to have fun.
Yeah.
And then we get people like that go there and do horrible things to people because they can't get some.
Mm-hmm.
And it's terrible. And, you know, don't get me wrong. Like, for instance, I'll let you guys on a little secret about me. I'm a huge fangirl of Sebastian and Alec. Sebastian from Black Butler and Alucard from Hellsing. They are my 2 husbandos. And what have you. And I love them dearly. And yes, I do get attracted to cosplayers who dress up as my husbandos. There's some that do it very well. Some of them, they do it okay. And some of them they don't do so well. Sometimes they do it okay. Some of them are like, oh my god, are you real? But as much as you're tempted to feel those feelings and be attracted, or actually just talk to them, or you have to remember, this is an individual in a costume.
It's just them playing dress up.
Right,
Not
playing dress
saying,
up.
Hey, do me. They're like, unless you'd have to pay for that thing, but you can get arrested.
Wow.
But
Hey, I wouldn't or if that's how you feel and cosplay is a particular type of interest
do
that you like,
when you're at home, not.
I'm saying call your boyfriend up and say, hey, honey, there's a little secret about me, and I want you to dress up as this character, and yada yada yada, and
They'll be
see
like,
what
okay.
happens.
Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
there is a solution, but you have to, dial those urges back. Actually, there's a wonderful hentai comic that I read when I was in middle school, and it gives a very good explanation of how reason works sometimes and how instinct works sometimes. And it's called Super Taboo. And what happens is, it's unfortunately, well, I don't know how you guys fellows feel about this, but we're going to get a little dark and gringy here. But this is an ancestral hentai-ish type of comic.
Why don't we just cut that right here? This conversation has gone on for too long.
All
we
right,
don't want it to just dive off into that NSFW
Yeah.
here. Let's
Actually,
say it's not your fault. We should have read you the rules and everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Which we will do next time. But I do understand what you mean. It is, hey, leave them alone. Take a photo with them.
All
Shake
right.
their hand if that's okay.
And then go home. Go home with.
Because you wouldn't want it if someone randomly patted you on the crotch or the back of the head or that stuff or tried to take something from you. I mean, if you're into that thing, then seek help. But if you
or
if
exercise
that
in a healthier manner.
Be polite. Treat people with respect, and they will do the same to you.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to do that because I'm not particularly a happy person, but it's necessary for you to do that because you don't want to get the shit kicked out of you. So we're trying to look after.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cross the line. If you,
no, it's fine.
You didn't cross any line. You were on the edge, but
okay.
he pulled you back.
Thank you. It was just another thing about me. I perceive myself as a lady, but I do understand that there's certain interests that people have, and I respect that. And as an artist, as an artist who dances between cute and sexy, I kind of understand these very interests and I don't necessarily say I'm one extreme or the other. I'm pretty much, again, on the fence, and I try to cater as much as I can. There's quite a few limits I have, but I try to respect those.
That is absolutely that was a very honest opinion. Mostly, I get a lot of interesting opinions on here, but yours was actually a lot more calm, a lot more dignified, because I have to tell you this, we're kind of shit posters here. We're all about the meme life. Because we don't take anything seriously, but it is nice to have people on here who do take these things seriously, and I'm very grateful for you to be here to talk with us in a serious tone.
Thank you.
And I know everyone's going to be commenting, they'll be like, what the fuck, Trish? We never seen this side of you. Then someone's going to type, cock. And that's going to be freaking Karmasar.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Because he's the type of guy that would send me that. It's like, wow. It's like, my girlfriend and I had a great day today because I told him, like, I was on there, and when I was in Miami, I visited her, and he just said, cock. He's like, I love you too, buddy.
But, I have also a question. It seems like you guys are more in tune with the YouTuber lifestyle. It must be very challenging to, you put yourself out there and you have some people that really like your stuff, and then, like you said, you have some people that are just at times can be very trollish or very mean-spirited. So, like, how do you deal with something like that?
Oh,
Putting you on the hot seat.
I
Okay,
think
well-
Dan should go first.
Yeah, alright. Well, it's, I don't mean to sound corny or anything, but it's like when, I kind of understand how people who like extreme sports and that kind of stuff, they get this rush, and I get the same rush whenever I'm like posting something. It's like, oh boy, hope I don't get called a homosexual. And, you know, sometimes people insult me, other times they'll give me constructive feedback. And I like it. I really enjoy it. It's an exciting feeling.
Well, that's good.
I don't really feel I'm in that tune with the YouTuber life. Mostly the things I do is related to the band Gorillaz. And I try to do more reviews. You see, I review action figures on my channel. And I try to have skits in them, which kind of poke fun at things in these movies that they're from. So I don't really have that much of backlash from it. But when I'm on Tumblr or Twitter or Facebook, I post memes and stuff like that. Like, I don't go too far with it. I keep myself balanced. Like, I tell an offensive joke that's reasonably offensive. It's like, oh, ha, 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 I remember that. Like, ha, ha, that's a little bit messed up. I don't go too far.
don't go too
Because there are
far.
people out there that make 9/11 memes and stuff like that. It's like, that's way too far. I respect innocent people that were injured in a violent action.
Or historical memes about slavery and all that junk.
Oh yeah, but I do like to make memes about Thomas Edison, how he stole everything from brilliant minds.
Yeah. Isn't it Tesla?
Tesla.
He stole.
Oh yeah,
he stole it from.
the guy who got screwed out of millions of dollars because he said, "Hey, can we try to make the repair services for these things free?" Edison's in the background going, "Fuck you."
That's-
I
Yeah,
would chase all these
Tesla-
animals until people say you're bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tesla
he
got
dies in
screwed.
he dies in a freaking hotel with talking about a pigeon. This poor man. He created the remote control. He challenged the world. He even made freaking Mark Twain cry. He knew him, and that's how he ended up.
Yeah.
And let us not
Rap
forget
battle
the
summed it up in one thing: you did not just steal from me; you stole from mankind.
Epic rap battle.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
and we
So-
can't forget the
RoboCop.
greatest atrocity in human history, the Cola Wars.
No.
Coke and Pepsi are the same thing. Wake up, people.
Coke-
Like the casualties stacked up on both sides. It was an atrocious, sticky, and bloody battle.
That's so
Oh,
silly.
the Coke,
Yeah.
the Coke war.
There are stains to
Ah.
this day that can never be washed
Anyways,
Stop it, man! I'm gonna have the flashbacks.
anyways, guys, going back to what Kitty said about the whole YouTuber experience. Mark, do you want to go next, or
I'll go
you wanna
next.
Move on.
Well, really, with like the whole YouTuber thing, I just post videos because I just feel like making videos about games that I like, games that I feel that could work, games that I just want to try out that I hope don't get copyrighted, and what I really just talk is just my own personal experiences, my own thoughts, which generally half the time is, well, generally I forget most of it. Most of what I'm during my train of thought and focusing on the game, so I tend to forget a lot. I mean, there's a few chances when a friend of mine keeps me on track, but for the most part, I just ramble on and on and on and don't really get nowhere. But at the very least, I did get a few interested YouTubers and a few people who, got my attention and got their attention, like Dad's Night Gaming, when I posted on my review of Titan Souls, he basically left a comment liking my video and saying that he's building up this little group of YouTubers, and he asked if I wanted to join, and I was like, sure. So I followed him and stuff, and well, mostly I stream on PS4 and all, so that's where most of my games are. I have no idea how to do, stuff on the computer. I mean, I couldn't figure out how to do. Yeah, I'm lazy. I am lazy as fuck.
not lazy. If you don't know, you don't know. But if
You're
you
not
also
lazy. You just haven't learned the skill yet.
right.
Yeah, but sometimes most of the videos I just don't really. I mean, I'm careful with what I say. I try to be careful with what I say and stuff because I've learned the hard way that my words can get me into trouble. I have made many enemies in my life. I
I'm
just got to
sorry
be
to hear
careful.
that.
Same. Mostly when I go to a Disney convention and say, Lion King is overrated. And then I'm almost hung.
No, what you just
Well,
what
that's
you
your opinion.
should say is Lion King is a Hamlet knockoff.
They
It kind
It
of
is.
All of a sudden you see my body dangle.
But they admitted it. They admitted, the writers admitted it. But the thing is, again, this is your opinion. People don't seem to understand that opinions that's just what they are. They're not facts. And it's not like they're attacking you as
Opinions
a...
are like asshole. Everybody's got
Oh,
yeah, having an opinion nowadays is just basically asking to be attacked.
pretty
But
much.
really,
It's like
Really, for
saying,
me, I just
hey,
don't
I
care.
thought that Krispy Kreme scene from Power Rangers is actually pretty funny. Arrow goes through my head.
But they're not facts. And also the fact that they should not, whatever the opinion might be, it should not define you as an individual. Like I'm a proud
Because they're used to winning. Because like I've known the people that do this have gone up against pretty ignorant sons of bitches, and when they confront someone that they thought was their friend with a kind of valid criticism, they feel betrayed and angry about it, and they feel very, very proud. It's kind of like you're very punch drunk on your own success.
Actually, that's a very good analysis. I heard
It's like
somebody.
the social justice warrior thing, where I know there are good social justice warriors out there. There are people who just want people to love each other. They don't want anyone to feel ashamed of who they are. White, black, Christian, atheist, etc. And then you get the extremists who aren't really in it to help people. They're in it to make themselves look cool, which is a sin.
And it's a power play too.
Also, just to elaborate on that, I based on my personal experience, I have been on both sides of a Justice Warrior feud. I've been I genuinely want to help people. I have friends
That's because you have a conscience, because you see people suffering every day, a man, woman, and child, and you feel powerless to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and then I get over it.
And then
That's great, Mark. It's really really uplifting, Mark. Nice job. Thank you for that. Yeah, you see just
You
some man
said
who was
what I
stabbed.
thinking.
And then
just walk away. Great, good job.
Don't be a hero.com.
Don't be a hero.
And then I have been a victim of being attacked by Justice Warriors or misunderstood. Yeah, I think it's the better place is misunderstood. I don't know if you guys heard about this. I don't know if I mentioned this in my previous time with you. As an artist, I draw, all different types of stuff. And one of the things that on occasion I do like to draw, and I draw from several of my art friends and art family. I like drawing shota or femboys.
Oh, that
Not a
style is rather
50-50.
controversial for this.
another. I'm
That's
sorry.
no, but, as you said what it was, and we'll leave it at that.
Okay. Well,
We should have really told you this before.
Yeah.
I kind of know a guy who has some femboy characters.
No,
that-
Mark. Back away. Do not engage.
well, okay. I'll just make it. I'll make it short.
Report to your regimental commissar, Mark.
I'm so sorry. Is there a list of subjects that I can't speak of? Can you guys give me a list or something? Because I really don't want to like step on anybody's toes here and ruin your podcast.
It's not
You
that
can't talk about Big Lebowski because that movie is untouchable.
Unless you're praising it.
exactly.
Okay. I never seen it, so
Never seen.
I never seen it. So well, in any case, I'll just say it this way. I said some things that is a commonly common word in otaku culture. It's not considered a demeaning name, but I come to find in the LGBT community, specifically the T portion of the LGBTQ community, it's considered a slur. I did not know this, and funny, I have, and not try to sound like somebody who's trying to defend themselves and not being honest. They say, oh, I have a friend of this particular walk of life, and they never told me. In this particular case, I've had several friends of mine that are in the T portion of the LGBTQ community. And they are otakus as well. And they use the same language. And this is the first time they never heard of this issue. I never heard of this issue. So how could I ever know in my circle of friends that this was an issue? And I did some research. I tried to educate myself a little bit, and some people do have certain circles. Now I know I can't use that in certain circles. So like if I decided to go to an LGBTQ meeting, I can't say that. But if I'm like among my otaku friends, I can say those things. But
there should be more movie stuff about like LGBT characters, not just for the sake of having them there. Just be like, oh yeah, we have this movie. This just so happens to be that way. Like, imagine a horror movie where the main character was trying to save the person they loved. Well, it just so happened to be that.
Well, that takes a lot of. You have to have somebody who writes the character well, because unfortunately, a lot of our media is based on the old stereotypes of characters. There's different, like, if somebody is a different color, or somebody's a different ethnicity or nationality or a sexual orientation, they let that be the main centerpiece of that character and not the actual, oh, just so happens, blah, blah, blah.
It's like no. It's just it's put under there, and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm the hero, but don't pay attention to that. It's like,
no, it should be the other way around, to say, hey, I'm the hero, but
it just so happens to be that kind of persuasion.
And when it comes to something like that, I do agree it has to be well written. And with it now, with main characters, they tend to be generally written anyways, so that way people can identify more. Like, oh hey, this person also has like bluish, greenish, brownish eyes. And that's a stupid example, but they keep them vague, so that way people can associate themselves with it.
I'll give you an example. Let's see, what's a good one? Oh, Sailor Moon's Sailor Scouts, Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus versus the recent Kill La Kill. Now, I'm a huge fan of Kill La Kill, and you can probably tell by the ringtone that constantly pops up every so often.
Yeah.
But, I am not against whoever, if you're in a same-sex relationship. What I do have an issue is when a character is all of a sudden thrown into a relationship. With Sailor Neptune and Sailor Uranus, it's like they build up, or they were already in a relationship to begin with. Is that not true? Neptune or Uranus?
Trench being a trench,
Oh,
And then-
okay. So yeah,
Continue.
Sailor Uranus or Sailor Neptune, they were already in a relationship, and sort of their relationship became a backdrop to what they were. Like, for instance, I really didn't like Neptune and Uranus because they were different from the Sailor Scouts in how they did things. Like, I hate to say it, they were very stuck up. But again, their personalities were the main scene of their actions. How
they actually cared about
right,
each
like
other.
how their mission, they were so focused on their mission that they singled the Sailor Scouts out. That's what took
No
precedence.
offense, can you blame them?
Okay, when you're the outer Sailor Scouts and you're technically more powerful than the inner Sailor Scouts, yeah, sure, but it would be helpful, especially when you're in a team type of job, a teamwork-based job. It's good to play nice with your coworkers. Or your teammates. It works a lot better. Your pride has to take a back seat. I'm sorry. So yeah, I was kind of irritated with the Sailor Scouts, but I wasn't irritated because they were in a love relationship. Actually, I hardly noticed it. I just, that was just them and that was it. Now, Kill la Kill, on the other hand, it came out of left field. They all of a sudden, I want to go out with you, which to a certain extent, it's still on the fence. As far if the writers meant to have a Yuri relationship, then fine. But I look at it as in more of a girlish relationship or friends going out because you had Satsuki at the date and they went out to eat and shop. But it seemed like everybody was saying, well, Mako and Ryoko are having a relationship. It seemed too rushed, in my opinion. It just came out of left field. There was no build up to that. All because I understand, when she said, "Oh, Mako relaxes me." I think of more of a hey sister relationship, and Mako had more of a connection with Gamagori, in my opinion. Even though she was very oblivious in numerous cases, but when Gamagori got killed or hurt or something like Concern, she sounded like she was basically they were arguing with each other like if it was like an old time relationship.
Yeah,
like they were married for
couple.
years.
Yeah,
So-
and as long as
that
it's
was cute.
written well, then it works. If
Yes.
it's just written as "Hi everybody," oh jeez.
Yeah,
No one wants to sit through that.
and it's like you see that all the time, and it's like it's starting to become numb. Now I'm doing a comic, and I'll just say this: there's a few characters that I have planned that I'm hoping that gives a better representation of some of the LGBT community individuals.
I would just write them as just like normal people, like they're the type of
No,
guys
that's the main point. But it just so happens, like for instance, one of them is or a group of people are very ambiguous to the way they look. However, they act like normal people, you and me. Now, I always kind of had a nervousness about this because I don't know how people would react to it, but me personally, I feel that once I get them into full fruition, I think people would really enjoy these characters.
Yeah. As long as they can connect to the audience in a way where they go, yeah, I know someone like him. Oh, he just so happens to be this, but his personality, he just seems like that guy I know, that really nice, ordinary guy or a guy with a chip on his shoulder that tries to be good.
Well, I know one of them is pretty much a hothead, and the other one is doesn't like to bond too much with people because he's seen too many people die at the hands of the warfare that they're under. So it's like, yeah, but they both like this leader, and the leader this particular leader kind of keeps them together.
Are you gonna write us into the story? Or are you just gonna be us?
Huh?
I was just gonna say, are you just gonna write us into there? Because that sounds a lot like it.
No, no.
I'm just joking with you.
Oh.
It's like that time I was attached to a regiment where our casualties were so bad, I started having to execute others from other regiments.
I don't understand what they're saying either.
My job as a commissar is to improve morale, whether it be with the carrot or with the stick.
Or in your case, a sledgehammer or a chainsaw.
No,
Well, no, it's a 40 caliber. Well, 34 caliber round.
34 caliber round carrot. It's delicious.
Well, that's the stick. I give them a rallying speech, and if that doesn't work, you kind of pop a few people.
Oh, that's horrible.
Or just do what Kate's. Or just do
Because
what
if their
Kate's.
morale breaks, that's 10 men running away, and then the others who are standing by have a greater chance of being overwhelmed.
Are you talking about that or a Michael Bay movie?
Oh, I'm talking about my job as a commissar.
Yeah, he for everyone who's confused,
Commissar's a Warhammer nut.
yeah, exactly. It's a long story. We're all in character, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what my character is. It's an abomination.
No, we need ideas how to stop the terrorists. An 18-wheeler spins out of control, and it's all like, brush! In this huge tanker full of dynamite, crawl, crawl. Those aren't ideas, those are special effects. I don't understand the difference.
Speaking of which, now is the time. I am ready to reveal my Michael Bay theory, if you're all interested.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Yeah.
Writes this in a single night.
No, I've been preparing this for years. And you just see, like, conspiracy posts all over. It's like, I've cracked the code.
It's like that Sunny in Philadelphia episode.
Yes. You just see me with like slash marks all over my body. It's like, I had to keep down the notes how many days I can't stay awake. You see energy bottles everywhere.
I ran out of room on my walls, so I had to use my skin.
That guy
Alright.
needs to get a nap in.
Okay. Michael Bay is not really a director. He is a beta tester. What I mean by this is he tests out various camera shots, camera qualities, camera equipment, and studio equipment so other studios can use them. Look at the third Transformers movie and then look at the Avengers. The Avengers copied that scene from Transformers, but they did it better. But Bay did it first. He brought some new things to the table when it came to the camera shots. They even did the tracking shot where it, circles around them, where they said, yeah, you can definitely pull off that shot. Each camera thing that he does for his Transformer movies not only feeds his bank account, but it allows Paramount's lights to be kept on because they're hemorrhaging money still.
Jeez.
And trust me, it took me a long time to figure it out. Michael Bay can be a good filmmaker. He made that Will Smith movie that I didn't watch, that Nicolas Cage movie I didn't watch.
Are you talking about Bad Boys?
I guess. I don't know. I didn't watch them. Only thing I ever watched of his that was like Armageddon, and I kind of liked it. I haven't seen it since I was like 7.
I've seen it a few times. Still a classic.
It's still
It's got
good.
Aerosmith.
Yeah, but if you're talking about from a scientific point of view, no way.
Well, it's Michael Bay.
Well, no, it's a great way because then it ends the Earth quicker because you give it a shotgun to the face instead of a single bullet.
Pretty much.
They sent Bruce
Yep.
Willis to kill a meteor, and he did it.
They sent Bruce Willis to end all life.
It's like, yeah, with my acting.
Bruce Willis is just an anti-natalist conspiracy theory.
So, back to it. Michael Bay, other than, churning out the crappy horror remakes, obviously for $1, he is just beta testing. They let him do whatever he wants, so that he's like, okay, so they want me to
test this forever, just write something so we can shoot it for the toy companies and everything. But mostly, he tests camera footage. He is a beta tester for new technology because he said recently he is shooting the new Transformers movie in the first ever camera completely for IMAX. It's an IMAX camera that he somehow had Frankenstein created for it, which, like, okay, this is really feeding my theory now that Michael Bay is actually a genius when it comes to technical production.
Possibly.
Everything else you can hate. But when he creates a production, the science behind it, because he has backgrounds in physics and all these other things, when it comes to his stuff, like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. Why are you making movies? One, because he just wants to, but anyway. He is testing them. He is testing these footage so other studios can make better movies with the equipment, techniques, and softwares. He's the guy that you go to when you're not confident in your production equipment.
Oh.
That's it.
Wow.
Oh my god, when you think about it like that, it makes
That's
so
an
much
interesting
sense.
theory.
He's not a bad person. He's just a beta tester.
Curious.
And then he comes out, then all of a sudden I hear a clapping noise. And then he appears. It's like
Citizen Kane clap.
Aww.
And then all of a sudden a SWAT team from Chris.
Hey, say what you want about Citizen Kane. He did really good camera work with that too, like the hanging out from the roof through the window into the ground shot that they did in Citizen Kane. It was actually really impressive with the technology they have.
And the optical illusion of Kane walking from the foreground into the background to show the size and scale of the room.
Yeah. Like,
Oh my
a
god, I
lot
can't
of
believe I
that
remember
stuff,
that.
Citizen Kane, writing-wise, wasn't so good, but all the camera work and everything they did with that was just mind-bogglingly phenomenal.
I still recommend you guys check out a movie called Train Spotting by Danny Boyle. That movie is so good. If you don't know what it is, caution to what I say to the audience out there paying attention. Train Spotting is a 1996 film from Edinburgh, Scotland by an artist known as Danny Boyle. Ewan McGregor is in it, so Star Wars fans, be praised. He plays a heroin addict.
Oh.
Yeah.
It praises the lifestyle of drug abuse and all that stuff, but it also talks about things like people say you're addicted to drugs, but you're also addicted to other things you didn't know. You're addicted to junk food, you're addicted to drinking, you're addicted to smoking, you're addicted to being alive. It's like everything's an addiction, but you have to find the right one.
I am addicted to art and anime.
Yeah, that counts as an addiction.
I'm addicted to video games and anime.
It has some really disturbing things. It talks about withdrawal. It talks about a lot of things. It's very comedic at times, but also it gets pretty surreal. And it's hard for you to tell what they're saying because they have thick Scottish accents where they just say fuck, 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 like that. Like, that's the only thing you can make out half the time, so you have to have it with subtitles.
Yep.
And it has that guy from that TV show Once who plays Rumpelstiltskin. By the way, that is a great character from that show.
I love
that show.
him. I love the actor. The actor is wonderful. He's played in so many different things. He played in The Full Monty. He played in what is it? Castlevania, Lords of Shadows, both 1 and 2. Yeah, he was Dracula and Gabrielle.
Sally yet. I still am pushing for that.
What?
Like once, like it's basically a Disney TV show.
What show?
Once Upon a Time. They have so many weird titles for it. It's a weird show to title. It's on Netflix. It's pretty good for what it is. There are so many characters a lot of fans want. Like, they have all the classics like Robin Hood and Snow White and all that shit.
Wait,
but
you're talking about Once Upon a Time?
Yes.
You're talking to an avid fan of it.
I am a fan of it too. I mean, I liked the Elsa episode. I felt like it did a lot better than the movies did.
Yes, I would have to agree with that one.
And
like,
revealed,
are they gonna bring Wreck-It Ralph and Tron into this? Because I would friggin' love that shit.
Or How to Train Your Dragon, that'd be interesting.
Now that's a
Dreamcast
different property.
or DreamWorks. I said Dreamcast. What the hell?
It's a Dreamcast. Or what's next? You want Steven Universe to appear? Actually, that would actually be.
Let's get Fred Durst in there.
I still like Steven Universe, but just the earlier stuff. Because now it's just.
You don't like it now?
I kind of grew out of it.
I can't wait for next week because next week is my birthday.
Thank you.
I mean, I really would like Steven to meet other people, like maybe become a hero in his town, save the day. I want him to be a hero, to save somebody.
Apply what he's learned.
Yes, for once. Instead of being like, I don't really want to do that. I just want to be a little kid. It's like, dude, you have powers. Like it or not, you have to use them. Because...
With great power comes great responsibility.
Shush, that's DC. Do you want to get a suit? That's Marvel.
That's Marvel.
It's like, do you want to get Steven Universe suit if they say that?
That's right. Stan Lee's gonna do it himself.
Like you see a Stan Lee appear at a police office, like under arrest.
Stan Lee makes a cameo into Steven Universe just to arrest Steven.
He makes an appearance.
That would be the best episode ever. Just no one would see that coming.
Just because he says that, someone says that line, Stan Lee just comes out of nowhere and arrests them.
And his driver is Uncle Grandpa. Good morning.
Didn't they can that show?
It never dies. They keep rerunning it.
No, I thought they canned it. I don't see it anymore.
That's like God's work right there.
I like Uncle Grandpa. I don't care if people say it's trashy, but it's classic Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
In fact, I take it back. Cartoon Network is the same as it used to be. Believe it or not, you know the slice of life stuff people don't like nowadays? Guess what was Cartoon Network's original lineups? Slice of life. Johnny Bravo was the first of its kind. And so was the Flintstones and all that other stuff. Those were slice of life cartoons. And guess what evolved from it? Action cartoons. We're going to get those eventually, but I have to admit, we'll probably be in our late 20s when that comes out, because we live in a generation nowadays where kids just want to relax. We live in a very stressful time period.
Yeah.
With controversial elections, violence in the media, violence in our streets, mass riots, issues with law enforcement officials. We're people just trying to find a calming, fun, happy escape. And I think that's what Cartoon Network is capitalizing on. But Nickelodeon, it's a sinking ship. you see all the captain going down while whistling. I can't whistle. He's like, dude, nothing's wrong. Hopefully those movies really hit the mark, because I really would like to see a Hey Arnold movie a lot better than the original Hey Arnold movie.
Actually, I think they're making the Jungle movie.
Yeah.
I know, it's going to be the true finale.
I bet
his
or
parents
God,
are alive, and they're like, they live with the Green Eye clan and stuff like that, and then they choose to stay there while he lives his life.
Or that would be a really interesting way to finish off the series.
And then if that happens, I'll call you guys like, I fucking told you.
They end it with just like a very long animated game of chess. Everyone's like geriatric and everything playing.
But I'm curious though, like, shouldn't they age up Arnold?
They are. He's in the 6th grade, I think, at the start.
Yeah.
So he went up by 2 grades in the span.
He got
of
held back a lot.
Oh
and
God.
Maybe Helga.
He's Harold.
Finally get together.
No.
Arnold has become Harold.
I don't know, because I always kind of hope they get together, because my favorite episode is when Helga talked about her past, where this obsession came from, where it's like she was nice to him. No, sorry, he was nice to her because she was left out in the rain. And I'm like, oh man, that's really sad. Because nowadays when I watch Arnold, it's like, oh my God, her family's worse than I remembered.
Yep.
What, you're talking about Helga's family?
Yeah, her mom's a lush. Her dad is possibly cheating on her.
And no, her mom's an alcoholic.
Has a mental disorder.
Yeah, I saw that one a mile away.
It's like, this is getting so surreal.
That's terrible.
Yeah, there's a lot of dark
You
stuff in
blur-
that show.
God help me when I find out about the angry beavers.
More fan theories.
More game theory.
That's
Oh,
right.
yes.
Is Daggett Ness, who's actually Sans?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Does anyone know why Angry Beavers was actually canceled?
Why?
People just got bored with it.
No, that's actually not why. They were doing good in terms of ratings and stuff, but apparently Nickelodeon had a clause that prohibits shows from stating that it's the final episode. So with their season, what wound up being their season finale, they were making as a joke where they were joking around about the series being canceled, and that violated one of Nickelodeon's clauses, and such actually got the show canceled.
Wow.
And it was a fun little show. I mean, that episode where they said Stump was adopted. Wow, that really, wow.
He made Stump cry.
But hold
I
on,
think
here's the important question: Is Stump
And then
actually
he
Ness?
lost a lot of weight and dropped out of the game. Then he came back as a guy you might know as Plank.
That's right. Yes, he's
The
Plank.
same
He's
guy.
actually Sans.
Oh my god.
Fucking hate King Theory.
Ultimate theory that Stump became Plank after years of surgery.
Quick, someone
Now that you
message game
mention
theory
my
about
blank,
that.
I have to post this into the chat.
Do it, do it, do it.
This is... Well, I gotta find the picture first. It will explain why... What happened in the end of Ed, Ed, and Eddie. The real ending.
It's where it turns out they're actually in hell. And Danny Antonucci is the devil.
Or
Oh my.
purgatory.
This is like some creepy pasta stuff.
It
They're
just evolves.
doing it to get a rise.
Yeah, it just evolves into this.
They're just
after a
being
while.
wacky teens.
That's right. Bunch of wacky teens.
Wacky teens posting the memes. Meanwhile, I just got my Book of the Dead to read.
Please keep that over there. I
Why?
Yeah.
It's just a book with a human face inked in human blood. It's harmless.
Yeah, you
Keep
got the.
it over there.
Conda.
All right, I'm done. La 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 la.
Hey, he has the Book of the Dead. I have the Book of Life, which contains all the stories of the world. If any of you have seen the movie, you'll understand that reference.
Yeah, but mine was created by evil Kandarians.
Mine
And it
was
tells
created
the
by the.
prophecy of a man with a chainsaw hand to save the universe.
Ruby.
You have been
Okay.
watching way too much Evil Dead.
I'm watching the original one on repeat. It's
Okay.
awesome.
So, hey, Plank, been looking kind of twisted since you stood out in the rain a few days ago. What's that, buddy? Feel the what the hell?
The warp.
Oh God! What the?
Question. Anybody interested in the new upcoming comic book movies? We have quite a few coming up. Guardians of the Galaxy is a huge one that's coming up soon.
Dark
I like
Tower.
Guardians. The only thing that bothers me is the outfit of Star-Lord.
Why? It
A
looks
tool.
similar to what he did previously.
Except it doesn't cover the top of his head, it's an open jacket, and it's the complete opposite color.
Okay.
Yeah, that whole helmet thing where he breathes in space. I don't
He looks
know,
like
it
an
always-
owl with that helmet.
Yeah.
I know it's
Oh, I
you're
keep-
supposed to let go your suspension of disbelief, but I don't know. That always rubbed me the wrong way.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I read the old Guardian of the Galaxy comics when I was a kid and stuff, so... It was actually, when I heard they were working on that and everything, I was really excited. Don't get me wrong, I still like it. The only thing that bothers me is how far of a stretch the costume is.
Okay. Well, I'm very interested of how they're going to portray Mantis.
Oh yeah.
She seems like an Oracle character who's kind of naive and doesn't know what she's saying out loud.
because
promo- yeah.
that's what
how they
she's
do
like
it.
in the comic.
She's like, ha ha! She just revealed your deepest, darkest fear. Ha ha!
Do me next.
Drax is my favorite character, hands down.
I personally prefer Groot.
I like.
Oh,
Groot.
I like Groot.
I couldn't think of Vin Diesel any weirder when I saw that new Fate of the Furious movie where he's like, "What are you gonna name your baby?" Spoilers. It's like, please say Groot. Please say Groot. Please say Groot. Every time he fought someone, I kept thinking he's yelling, "I am Groot."
No,
I was
he's
just
really.
giggling in my seat, and everyone looked at me going, "What
Now I have
this
to
guy
edit
laughing
like
at?"
scenes from Fast and Furious with like "I am Groot" lines.
Oh.
Yes, that would be just superimposed.
You
Groot's
just
face.
gave me a stupid project to work on. God damn it.
Give us credit for it.
No.
Yes.
Speaking of
But,
stupid projects, continue, Kitty. I'm sorry.
It is a good movie, by the way. Just
Well, somebody also mentioned Dark Tower by it's a Stephen King novel, and that looks very interesting too.
Oh yeah.
you scare me in
Oh,
the
yeah.
I love you.
Huh?
I love Steve King.
I do like Stephen King. Some of Stephen King's works. I'm on the fence on some of it because remember, I'm not a huge horror fan.
Are you excited for it?
No,
It looks
'cause
pretty
I'm
good.
not- I'm not a horror
Looks a
fan.
lot better than the
Well,
original.
not everything he's written was a horror film.
Oh no, I
like
completely-
Shawshank or Maximum Overdrive.
Green Mile.
Yes, The Green Mile was also very good.
Yeah.
It was sad, very very sad though.
Then
As far-
Cujo.
Cujo the Demon Dog.
Or my personal favorite, Dreamcatcher. That is the funniest movie I've ever seen.
No, I never.
They actually have aliens that are literally called shit weasels.
Oh, I remember
They
that.
go up people's asses.
Excuse me?
I'm not lying. This is
Oh
real.
my lord, that's
it's-
terrible.
And it's
You're
like
just-
played for kind of a laugh, but not really. I think that's what makes it funnier, that it's like trying to be serious, but it's just so goofy.
It's so bad, it's good.
That's so terrible.
And we can't forget the greatest thing Stephen King also did.
What is that?
Broke meteor shit.
The Broken Meteor.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because that's Stephen King in that. The Hillbilly.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Stephen King has created one of my favorite movies of all time that he did, which was Creepshow.
Mm-hmm.
That movie is a horror fan's dream because you got George Romero directing, you got Tom Savini doing the makeup and practical effects, and you got Stephen King writing it.
Okay,
Back in
now
the
I
80s, if you heard that, you'd be like, take every fucking dollar I have.
no, I completely understand where you're coming from with that. Even though I'm not a horror fan, I know each and every one of those names, and I can understand that's like if you had, I don't know, Goku and Superman and
Instead of them
Silver,
fighting, they became best friends.
yeah, like Silver Surfer and like, you know, every single anime character and comic book character known to man being forced into like a friendship sort of
Slice of life.
movie. Not a slice of life, no. Oh, actually, that would be funny. A comedy slice
That's
of
called
life.
Drawn Together.
That show is so underrated.
Oh, it was. Oh man, I have to say that was a really good idea for the time. I'm
It
sorry
looks
that it
bad,
didn't do so.
though.
Yeah.
I need to get into that show.
It's
is pretty
because
funny,
the
like-
humor on it is like really out there.
They
No, I-
did make some pretty good points. Like, they made fun of Hot Topic. It's like, they made it like that crappy movie Hostel. Where it's like, do you think this place is just where we sell nothing but Invader Zim clothes? I'm like, ouch. It's like, no, this is where we torture cartoon characters.
That is terrible.
But true.
Yeah. They
But I
figure.
I
it'd
actually
be
go into
torture.
Hot Topic saying, where are all the Samurai Jack shirts at? They just look at me going, oh shit.
Haha. So you're
They
failing at your job.
And it's hot right now. I thought you were Hot Topic, not Cold Pulse.
Ooh.
Sick
Oh,
now.
savagery.
We should open up like a clothing brand called Cold Pulse, now Austin.
By Austin Trench, and it actually gives things people wanted. Who wants a Voltron mask? I do. Who wants an actual T-shirt of?
Well, here's
Lance?
a T-shirt with a Voltron mask.
Like, who wants
You
a
can wear it
photo
on
of
your
Lance
face.
and Shiro together? I do.
I can't wait for season 3.
Season 3. Are they going to get the other Voltron mech that's made out of space station?
Oh, the vehicle one?
Yes. You're not even the cool Voltron, just that stupid vehicle one.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to if we're jumping from movies, what other movies are coming out this year? I know Star Wars is coming out this year.
So excited.
Also, I think Black Panther is coming out this year.
I'm excited for that one because I want
Yes.
Bucky Barnes to be the new Captain America.
Well, he does become in the comic
I
books.
know,
He
the
does.
comics. The comics, because I think with him, with the other guy, Chris Evans, gone, it's like, give this guy a shot. He could pull it off.
Like Sebastian Sane, I think his name is.
Yeah, he could definitely do it. And I like Black Panther. He's one of the many Marvel superheroes I respect because he actually does have some mystical power. It's granted to him by their god on the island that it occasionally happens. And it's not because of a race thing. It's because he's a good character. And he's really cool. He doesn't hate people from other worlds. It's like, look, we're kind of privatized. We deal with people. It's just that we don't want to be taken over by anyone. It's nothing personal.
This is what would have happened if if countries were not colonized, or even Africa wasn't colonized.
Understandable.
So
They
I
still
don't
have
think.
contact with us, but just like a lot of years later, be like, "Oh, you have this stuff too."
Well,
we would have met like at a trading post.
Right, exactly. But the thing is, it took a while, because if you looked at the animated series, The Black Panther, he was very hesitant to basically share his resources to everybody else because the way you have these greedy governments and these greedy companies that basically Shanghai other countries for their resources, which is understandable. But and also spoil if you you know what, I will keep that piece of information to myself. But yeah, but originally T'Challa, which is the character's name, he didn't necessarily dislike the outside world per se. It's just, he's looking out for his people.
Yeah, he's not
That
trying
comes
to be
first.
mean. He likes people. He likes Daredevil. Hell, he invited Spider-Man over to his island for a while, and they gave him dread and cornrows.
Yeah, but what?
That's a good host. This is a real thing in the comic. Spider-Man visits him in Wakanda, and like he's just hanging out there with him. All of a sudden, these girls come up to him and start braiding his hair.
I didn't even know that he
And it's
had
adorable.
long.
It's like, oh wow, I hope MJ likes this.
Not everybody
He's like,
can
come
rock
on,
the
man, I'm throwing girls at you here.
Not everybody can rock the cornrows, my friend.
He just wanted to try. I was like, how do you guys do that? How does
That
anyone wear those?
was
Well,
me
when
now.
you're in the hot sun all day, when you're in an area where there's a hot sun all day, you'd rather go for a hairstyle that is a lot more cooling to you.
Yeah.
Beach shaving your head, making it look like you're a drug addict, especially if you're someone with my skin pigmentation. If we shave our heads, especially with our sunken eyes, like, look, we don't have any change for you. Please go get your smack somewhere else. Like, I'm not on smack. Yeah, and I don't work at a library. It's like, wow, you work at a library? That's pretty sad. So is your face. Ouch. Savagery.
Yeah.
Sadistic.
You're appropriating the drug culture, Trench. I'm offended.
Oh yeah, and speaking of that picture, I actually have a copy of that comic. Well, the picture from that comic saved on my computer, where it shows Spider-Man with the cornrows.
Oh.
And with it's a hilarious picture to look at because it also looks like he has such a look of disappointment with his life.
Who?
Spider. You'll have to see the picture. It's weird how it looks. I can find it.
So yeah, we also got Spider-Man again to the big screen. I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be the summer. It's either go see that, Wonder Woman, or Transformers, and I'm like...
Go see Wonder Woman and go see Spider-Man. Leave Transformers alone.
Yeah, no Transformers.
I want to see. I want to see Star Wars.
Okay. It's gonna be. Oh my goodness! It's gonna be so hard to.
I
The
don't know.
Jedi
I mean,
Fall?
it kind of looked cheap.
Yeah.
Like the Guardians film. I was looking forward to it. Then I saw the trailers, and it's like, this looks kind of cheap.
Well, it's just that it's going to be hard in the sense of trying to pick out which particular movie to go see. Because you have Wonder Woman that I definitely want to go see. I want to see Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to see, Spider-Man Homecoming, which thank you very much for reminding me because I completely and utterly forgot. So there was quite a few that I have an interest in seeing.
That's good that you do. But I do want to see Wonder Woman, but I've kind of given up on DC because of the Justice League trailer. I was supporting it, still love Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad. That trailer hit the net of Justice League, I'm like, fuck you, I'm done.
But I wouldn't punish... I wouldn't punish I wouldn't punish each film for that, because you could have a film that is really good, but when they try to speed up the process because Marvel is doing well, you can't blame the standalone movie for that. And also, maybe to a certain extent, I'm really looking forward and having high hopes for a female superhero. Because Supergirl is the only one that's doing very, very well.
Yeah, that's true. Especially with the whole Catwoman thing. Halle Berry.
Oh.
We don't talk about that movie. That didn't happen.
And I'm an avid Neko fan. I'm an avid Catgirl fan.
The worst Neko cosplay ever.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I would
like Halle Berry to return though, because for some parts I did see the original character there. Just give her something better, Like I said this about the Fantastic Four movie. They had a good cast. I was supporting it as long as they could pull it off. And they didn't. And it was sad because I was supportive of it. Same thing with the Ghostbusters movie. I was supportive of it. Let down. And
which one, may I ask?
Which one what?
Which Fantastic Four movie?
The reboot, because they released that amazing teaser trailer where it has that piano music, and then just you see Doctor Doom go through the hallway exploding people, just that looks so cool. And I was really excited because it was kind of like a David Cronenberg style thing where it's body horror, and I'm a big fan of The Fly.
Okay.
And that's a good movie, not because of the horror angle, but because of the love story and the drama within it. But that's besides the point. I was really let down because it showed a director who couldn't take it. I know it's wrong for me to say this, because if I ever become a director, I'd probably do the same thing. But dude, I could do this. It's so easy. Just make them heroes. Make them be happy all the time. They don't have to be dark all the time. The dark thing should just be their origin. But then they get used to their powers and learn, hey, we're not a burden. We can do good.
Well, see, we live in an era where everything has to be edgy. Like, this is one of the reasons why I like the Marvel superheroes a lot more, is they don't necessarily have to be edgy. They have a nice mixture of serious and funny with their stuff.
I'm
And
fine with DC being edgy because I would like that to be a yin-yang thing with the DC Marvel-verse thing, where
But
you could go to one, then you can go to the other.
yeah, but the only people that were technically edgy was basically Batman. And that was
Man.
Soups.
Soups was.
Soups was over time. It took a while for him.
He did basically decide the fate of his entire species by breaking Zod's neck, which I really enjoyed that part because it showed he made the ultimate sacrifice.
A lot of people were. I heard a lot of people were very upset by that decision.
Yeah, well, they also complained about a part where Superman found out, or Batman found out that their moms both had the same names, which I'm like, really? You're upset about this part? What about the part where Lex is wearing a bad wig, or the fact that they put Doomsday way too early into this movie, or the fact that, well, for starters, that Batman changed his clothes after a fight super quick?
Well, the changing of clothes is least of my problems, but I felt they picked the wrong person for to play as Lex Luthor. I felt they shoved Doomsday. They tried to just pack in way too much.
And I don't even think this was Zach's fault, because the trailers made it look like it was going to be more just about them, and then I felt like as the movie was going along, the studio said, okay, we need to add more into this.
I would have to agree that.
Because I never saw it.
Because Zack Snyder, despite what you say, he is a fanboy like all of us. Like, he knows what he's making. He loves what he's making. Sure, he wants to be the Tim Burton of our modern era, which, no offense, he can't do. Tim Burton was lightning in a bottle. You can't redo that anymore. They don't want to see Batman kill people anymore. In fact, the old movies from the 80s, while still praised, have actually become hated now because of how they portrayed him. And
really?
Ben Affleck, as Batman, he blew it out of the park right there. He was a good Batman. He's kind of like the Val Kilmer Batman. Very underrated.
Oh.
And I love Val Kilmer as Batman.
Okay.
And Ben Affleck, he's just... fans have been very supportive of him, but they won't shut up about his movie.
What do you mean shut up about his movie?
They won't leave him alone. Like, Ben Affleck's like, well, when I was in line to direct it, people would be like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Like, how's that script going? It's like, it'll be done, okay? So much so that he had to drop out of it. It's like,
the pressure was too...
The dude's in rehab. He's got enough things to go on. He's clean now, but he's like...
Rehab? Why was he in there in the first place?
He had a small drinking problem. It wasn't like violent stuff like that. It's like, yeah, he understood like I was getting a little bit out of hand, having a little bit too much, so he decided to nip it in the bud quick before it got out of hand.
Okay, because me personally, I'm not a huge buff in celebrity lifestyles.
No, he admitted this. I just found this out, and it's like, okay, this explains a lot of the tension where it was like, this poor guy, and he's a good actor. He's an Oscar-winning actor, and he loves Batman. You can tell how he played Batman. Most people said he acted a lot when he was Bruce Wayne. He looked and acted like the animated Bruce Wayne we grew up with in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
The smile, the look, the hairstyle, and everything. When you look at him in the bat suit, when he's fighting all those guys, the room felt silent.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll praise the movie for was just Ben Affleck's entire performance.
Yeah,
really
Batman
good.
was the best part of the movie. Superman, they messed him up. He barely had anything to do. He was moping all the time. He didn't get to save anybody that much. It didn't really show what made him the hero of Metropolis. It just made him the hero around the world. And he has to have had some joy saving people, like saving that girl from the building. That was a small moment. The rest of it just felt like, man, I gotta do this.
Mm-hmm.
He acted like he was taking out the trash whenever he was saving people. Like, gosh, I have to do this again.
And
No,
actually,
that would be you if you were Superman, though, Karmasar.
oh, I would.
If I was Superman, I'm not
Just
gonna,
saying, President Trump has just been thrown into space by Superman.
I would relish in the capabilities to help and save people.
Yeah, but then that would weigh on you if you couldn't save one person. Like,
Yeah, I would have to agree with that because it's basically like being a doctor.
you have to realize you can't be everywhere at once. And I
Or
feel
you-
Ben Affleck had the best story arc. And I did kind of like Lex Luthor in this, because I really liked it at the end. He says, like, well, Daddy didn't say... Because he basically says, I hate both you and Batman because you remind me of my dad.
Okay, somebody has daddy issues, alright.
Oh, yeah. It's like, man,
Lex
Brian
Luthor
Andrews
is-
to fuck this guy's up.
His email address is daddyissues@lexcorp.com.
LexCorp. But here's the problem. They should have just made his character subtle, because he's too jittery and stuff like that. Like, he could be jittery and stuff when he was in private, but like when he's talking to people, he needed to be more straightforward, very focused.
He
Too
kind
on
of
the
gave the
nose.
impression it was like, this is what would happen if you gave Michael Cera like a line of cocaine.
Michael
That's
Cera
what Lex
is
Luthor.
Brainiac. And then they have Jonah Hill play Mr. Mitziet's Pitlick instead of...
Oh, mid-play? Oh, goodness.
Kill Tip-
Oh, no.
Or better, he plays Bizarro.
No, he plays Killer Moth, like the most terrifying of all Batman villains. Next to the Quilt Man.
Quilt Man, Kite Man, Orca.
No, the Penny Plunderer. They need to bring him back into the DC canon.
Just bring back all
and
these
the Egghead.
freaking Z-list villains. That'd be awesome.
And then they
Probably
just
worse
show
than
that they're
Google.
way more dangerous.
Penny Plunderer still uses. He just still
But really,
uses
if
his
Ben
penny-related
Affleck's Batman
crimes.
movie is a thing. I think it should just start out, instead of just being balls to the wall action, it should be a classic Batman story. Like maybe he could do a baby doll caper. You know who Baby Doll is, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The unaging TV star. Or
Yes.
better yet, this is a movie I think that they should do, but do it better. The Heart of Ice story.
Ooh.
And everyone knows how tragic that episode is.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Freeze.
Jeez. We'll get somebody who
Ice
plays
to
it
meet
good.
you. Let's kick some ice.
Be cool,
Please
bud
get-
You know
boy.
what? You know what?
Chill out.
The dinosaurs. The Ice Age.
Everybody chill. Doesn't work on a cold-blooded.
Okay, let's take it that far.
You hear a nerd's head explode like in Scanners.
Yeah.
Who here has seen
Back to the
Scanners?
nipple suit as well. The nipple suit
yeah.
Batman was like the best suit ever. He could cut glass without having to use his arms. Like, that's a pretty useful suit ability.
I'm officially like KO'd.
Yeah. I think
KO'd with it.
That would be a really good one. Plus, they just play up
Yeah.
the drama element of it, where we get to lament and like Victor's cruel outlook on life, and it's
Mhm.
like it's dark, but it does have a uplifting ending where Batman does save Nora, but Victor's still convicted and everything, but he still gets like a camera feed of them taking care of Nora and like intercoming saying, "Hey, she's gonna be fine, Victor," and he's just like crying tears of joy.
Because I don't
That
think Mr.
would be
Freeze
beautiful.
is a technically bad guy. I think he just went about it the wrong way.
He's kind of selfish because he didn't tell anyone, and that's fine. But he did it. He kind of hastily did things. But
Yeah.
then again, he felt like he had no choice. And he's one of my favorite Batman villains because he's not evil. He's just misguided. And like every time Batman beats him up, he does feel terrible for doing this to him.
I like the Gotham Sirens. Harley
They're gonna
Quinn,
make that
Catwoman, and Poison Ivy. I like. Now, you want to talk about a good Yuri relationship? Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn are a beautiful Yuri
Well,
relationship.
I kind of view it as a poly thing.
Polly, really?
Yeah, well, like she is with the Joker, but she goes to her too. It's kind of like I get bored of you, so I go to her, and I go back because Harley does whatever she wants.
Yeah, that's true. But I think
Suicide
she's
Squad
distinctly
lamented
trying to get like her away from.
She's
'Cause it's not-
crazier than him and more fearless.
Yeah, first of all, it's not a very healthy relationship, by no means.
I know
feel
the
bad.
Joker's terrified of her. Oh yeah, the Joker's bad too.
Yeah, the Joker abuses
she
her.
is crazier than him.
You think so?
Yeah, in some of the comics, she does.
He gets like one punch on her, but when she's unleashed,
Oh yeah, then forget
pretty
it.
sadistic shit. And I hope. Okay, this is my hoping for how they do Gotham City Sirens Scene 1. It opens up where Harley's eating a burger, walking down the street. She sees a guy being very rude to his wiener dog. And then she just like snaps and then just puts a collar around the guy's neck and frees the wiener dog and just rides off into the night while choking the guy, shaking him down. There's like, because that is a Harley Quinn to do.
Yeah.
And the poster is just her and her hyenas, like in that episode where it's Harley's day out or day off.
Oh.
She's a fan favorite, and that's
Yes,
great.
she is. I have a question. You guys seen Suicide Squad? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the depiction of Harley there?
I
actually
enjoyed
thought it
it,
was
although
interesting.
they could have toned down the sexualizing on it. a little.
Yeah.
She was sexualized in that regard.
Why the hell did Harley wear booty shorts if she never wore booty shorts before?
Okay, all right.
Because
Then
the joke is she's crazy.
I think she looked pretty. As far as the only part that I thought she was sexualized in is when she was passed off to another guy, like in the very beginning of the movie.
That part was always confusing me because, like, wait, why is this scene happening?
Because they're crazed and she doesn't care. You know, she's just like, oh, you know.
It's like Harley wouldn't submit that easily unless she was
No.
doing it to
Oh,
make
with
it
that
mad.
also, if you look into it, it was a scene to elicit a response for them to kill that guy anyways.
Yeah,
The
I
Joker
can see
gave
that.
himself a response to kill.
Yeah.
So
Because
That's actually
out
pretty
in
clever.
public, if you're trying to build a name for yourself for being crazy, you gotta go about it instead of just like randomly shooting. You have to go more clever of it, more elaborate.
I really enjoyed
never
Jared
thought
Leto's
about that.
Joker. He was
I
a bit
agree.
different.
I agree.
He was
I
not.
know it's supposed to be
They should have
unhealthy
let
abuse,
Letho in more. They
but
should've
you
let-
could tell like he does need her, not just as a human shield, but as like he may actually have feelings for her for real.
They get a adrenaline high around each other.
Because
Okay,
they
that I
just
think
feel the
that's a
madness.
better. I think that's a better, better example of that. What? So,
The only character I hated was Slipknot,
I'm
not
up to
because
speak.
his head exploded, but
And-
because
they
he used
really.
a character that was a rapist.
Ooh.
It's
Right.
like I kept thinking, I hope you die. It's like,
And
yeah.
sure enough.
But I hear
that-
he's magical, so his head will regenerate.
Um.
Damn it.
No, I never knew that, and that's pretty crazy. But yeah, here's also another thing. Speaking of sexualizing, what do you think about the female characters in anime, video games, and comics? I think we might have talked about this in the other podcast, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, we did for a little bit. I don't really have a problem with it as long as it doesn't go too far, like that one anime, Saran Kagura or whatever it is.
Senran Kagura.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of that one.
It's like about this. I don't know. It's like this series of anime as well as games where it's like these female ninjas, and I get it what they're trying to do, like an actual Japanese history, the kunoichi.
Yes.
Is, you know, it's all about using the female sexuality as a weapon, I guess, like weaponizing it. So I understand why they do that, why they have the characters like remove their clothes during their like special attacks and all that. But I don't know, it was one of the games that just rubbed me the wrong way. It was like this weird cooking game, and then like you can unlock like pictures of like the girls like in seductive poses, but they're like have like food covering them. I don't know, just sex and food just isn't really attractive.
There's
to
a
me.
line that shouldn't be crossed.
Yeah, and it crossed.
That's
it.
interesting.
I'm just gonna show a picture. Actually, I'll see if I can actually find it.
No, you don't have to.
No.
Come on,
I'm
it's for
intrigued
science.
now.
It's for science.
I'm concerned, but aroused. No, I'm
Exactly.
kidding.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I just wanted to make a point, basically.
You're like that guy in Zack and Miri Make a Porno. I'm so scared by how it turned
Well-
on me by this.
I guess if I had to be, if for me, I have no problem with it. It's just how to portray the actual character. Like, for instance, poses. When you have characters in certain outfits, like for instance, Chun-Li is completely and utterly fully clothed. But if you're gonna put her in like very seductive poses, you're not necessarily translating her as a fighter, you're translating her as sort of like a model and expressing herself in a very lewd manner. It's not necessarily, I feel, not necessarily skimpifying dictates all the time sexualizing the character. For example, Felicia from Darkstalkers. She's a happy-go-lucky character and she hardly has anything on. But because of her poses and her attack poses, it makes her less and less more the seductive character and more just the outgoing character who likes to have fun and just, you know, dancing and singing and need be fighting. I think it's just maybe the air and the aura, how people portray their characters. It will dictate whether or not it's a seductive one or a seductive based character. Because they were getting upset about Tracer, and Tracer is fully clothed.
Oh yeah.
Anyone noticed that nowadays they're making these weird memes of Wendy's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
What?
actually because of Wendy's, like, Twitter is ran by, like, some weird 20-year-old, which is hilarious.
Oh no.
And what they do is they poke fun at other companies, so that way those companies do respond as well. And just pretty much one-upping them. Like, I saw something with Hardee's where they, I think it was Hardee's, some other where they were talking about the 4 for 4 and everything. And the company they were messing with responded like, well, we have done it, being first doesn't make it always better. And then Wendy's responded with like, okay, name the 4th person to land on the moon without Googling it. And just being really snarky and
Wow.
hilarious.
Wow, I didn't realize it got that bad.
Damn.
Oh no, it wasn't bad, it was just snarky because it's two companies' Twitter accounts. These aren't individual people's, like, you know, Joe Schmo or anything. No, it's company Twitter accounts just going at it. And it's hilarious, and it kind of helps people, I guess, create an identity to be associated with, like, the logo and stuff, and that's why Wendy's has always been, well, has been showing around as, like, that snarky, like, kid character.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah.
I feel
It's
like I've
gotten
made
out of control.
too
It just
much
became
about
normal.
this for my own good, apparently.
But yeah, you know, back to what you said about anime, I think it's just happened because it's kind of still sexual taboo in Japan to, to talk about it because it's kind of very restricted, polite culture, and they're just trying to make a quick buck as well as shake the foundations, if you know what I mean. Because they do have a population control issue where they're losing a lot of their population.
Well, not population control, but birth
I'm
rate.
sorry, I meant it wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
Population
it's
issues.
it's mainly like Mark was about to say that it seems like nobody's interested in having any relationship, and it's through several different variables. The best way I can simplify it is, ever heard of Gaijin Goomba?
Yes, I follow him.
He's a really good analyst. He really shares a lot of his experiences in Japan over the years, and he does a whole entire segment about population situations in Japan, and he talks about how a lot of them are going for more of the virtual, and it's not necessarily what people might think. They think it's based on sexual, when actually in reality it's not. It's more of companionship, and they're
because of the whole Japanese work ethic, the whole Japanese businessman.
Yeah, the work
The
ethic
salaryman.
is right. It's gotten out of control. The
They gotta
younger
work for
generation,
Big Ozu.
what is it? It's it's not a personal thing. It's about the benefit of a group. So if a personal situation is suffering, it's not really minded too much. Another thing is the younger generation are passionless. They're, the males are passionless, or the women are too demanding, and this idealism of carnivore and herbivore gender roles are switching, and it's a whole huge quantity of different variables affecting their capabilities to formulate good relationships and have children, which is not good.
Yeah.
Basically, Japan's slowly dying itself out.
Yeah, I'm hoping that changes over time.
Same here.
Because
Well, then again, if it were to happen to Japan, at least we still have Chinese anime, and I know people will call it Chinese cartoons,
Mark,
but I call it anime.
listen to what you're
politely.
saying, Mark. You care about people dying just because they produce the thing that you
What
like.
a story, Mark.
What the
Wow, this is something you didn't expect to come from me, saying like that dark.
Damn.
Well,
Mark is savage
Brett,
today. He doesn't give a shit.
You earned the Commissar's seal of approval for today.
Sweet.
You will not be executed for your next cowardice action.
Because, actually I have a sister over there, and that's what I'm concerned. I'm concerned about her well-being.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't
did
worry
not
about
know.
China. They actually have a very large population. They're doing very good when it comes to maintaining.
No, it's just, no, I have a, she's not my biological sister, but she's
Your soul sister.
Yeah, yes, definitely. She stayed over at my house for at least a few months, and we got really close. So I treat her like my sister, and, she tells me about her culture a lot more, and how it's different from the westernized culture. So I'm hoping things go well for her sake. It's just, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, I do agree that Japan is the birthplace of anime, of something that I love dearly, but now that it's been spread out to the world, now people from other cultures can do their own interpretations of anime. Anime is not going to die. they say, oh, anime is a mistake or anime is going to die in Japan. No, it's not. It might change in Japan, but the legacy of anime is not going to die out because you have, like you said, Chinese anime or Korean anime or Americanized anime. Yes,
Like
I'm going to...
Voltron and Avatar.
And
Thank you,
Mikey.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Voltron and Avatar
Legend of Korra,
and Legend of Korra are anime.
Right,
That-
exactly. No, you're 100%
You're
right.
all glossing over the brilliance of Kappa Mikey. I'm disappointed.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good show. That's a good show. That's a great show.
But
Also,
yeah.
I want a bit of apologize for that little savage comment
Nah,
I
it's
mentioned.
fine,
It is
dude.
late, and my
We're
brain is
joking.
like.
No, that's okay because I've said some dark things before. So
Yeah, I try not to say dark things or say, because some of the stuff that I say is pretty dark in
Brutal.
hindsight. Oh
We're
yeah.
edge lords. We're edgy McEdge lords.
No.
We're too edgy for Farquad.
I'm gonna have to like shoot you when I get back to Indiana.
Good catch. Bullets. I'm so annoying. Bullets try everything in their ability to avoid me. It's like, oh god, he's gonna talk to us. Run.
I'm just gonna shoot you with marbles because like you're a marble magnet anyways. So
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna use a slingshot. It's gonna be like we're elementary kids, but with murderous intent.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So
Good.
yeah, I
I'm into that
think
thing.
this is a good place to stop right now. I mean, I know we could continue, but I actually kind of wanted to do something else. No offense. Yeah, we could do something tomorrow. Like you're gonna
Definitely.
do
Absolutely.
Is it possible that I can, come back?
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yay. So,
Yeah.
part two.
Yeah, so you can, if you want, you can just like stay in this group, so you get like I guess updates on when we're gonna do the
Yeah,
next
and
podcast. and
hopefully I won't
Okay.
screw up the date like I did last time. I should have said the actual day. Why didn't I do that? Ugh.
Well, all is forgiven. We did a little something, and then we're all going to do part two tomorrow. So, no harm, no foul, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I dwell on things too much. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Okay, well, thank you everyone for attending.
You're
Really appreciate it.
welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on. I hope.
Thanks for having
I'm
me.
very,
on, too.
very.
Thanks for having me on.
No
Oh,
problem.
also one more thing. Next week is my birthday, May 9th.
Happy early birthday.
Hey.
So is it
yeah,
gonna be your
just a little,
30th?
drop
24th.
finally passed my
Okay, so I'm
driver's
6 years
exam.
too early with that.
Oh, and also I want to say thank you again for inviting me for another podcast. I know I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow, but again, every moment, just for me, every moment counts. And also, don't forget, you guys can stop by at my websites if you want to take a look at my artwork. I have a DeviantArt page. Ksapphire 8989. I have a Twitter account, I have an Instagram account, and I just put up a Patreon account. So I'm hoping that goes over very well.
I gotta make a Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have one?
Nope.
I was a little hesitant
Lucky
at
you.
first.
It's fun, but I seem to have a knack for attracting people I don't want following me and then quickly losing them. So,
Unlike me, you're stuck with me.
The only thing that killed my interest in Twitter, I will just say this: he's the leader of our country.
Oh.
What do you gotta bring it
Kanye
down?
West.
Oh no, please!
Megatron.
No.
I will take
Megatron
Megatron over
acting
him.
as intelligence.
King
However-
Koopa?
King Koopa would be an improvement.
Megatron
Fine, they're
and
both
King
orange.
Koopa for
Like, what's the
president.
difference?
Well, at least King.
As your leader, I will enslave all. Oh, and my vice said every princess will be his. What?
He said no fatties. I don't know why.
No, you do a pretty decent impression of Megatron, but at this point in time.
Thank you very much.
Do as I command.
Do
No.
as I command.
Sorry, only
Megatron!
Sorry, only Sorry, only Alucard and Sebastian will tell me what to do. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh no.
Oh, I didn't even know what he sounded like. I just did that.
No, the British accent is just great. I think that my cheeks all red.
really good, I can do 2D from Gorilla.
You like popsicles?
No.
Popsicles? I got plenty in the microwave.
I got a whole freezer full of them.
Take it easy, darling, or you're gonna end up hurting yourself.
I don't know where that's from. Oh, yeah, so this was the worst podcast ever. Who were you people?
I'm DZ Dog, and I don't know.
Well, hey, what's up? This was Jim. It was good to be on here, and be sure to buy Monster Trucks on Blu-ray.
Oh, God.
Alright. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Time to watch me some Rage of Bahamut.
Yeah.
I don't
Go
know
to
what
Firefest, everybody. Woo!
Burning Man.
Burning Man at Firefest. That's the ultimate concert ever.
Actually, in Arizona, I found out, they do a Wasteland, theme. I guess it's like a festival, where it's a post-apocalyptic thing and stuff.
Oh, I think I heard of that.
Give
Yeah,
me
and
2
you've got
tickets.
people who will dress up like they're from Fallout, some other
Mad
stuff
Max.
I can't remember.
All that,
Yeah, Mad
stuff.
Max. Actually, one of them does have one of the actors from Mad Max help host it each year.
Is it the one that goes, "You will leave the compound"?
I don't remember which one it is.
That's
One...
the humongous.
Was that sexual harassment, Trench?
Humongous what?
Okay.
Someone
what?
ever reviews that
Okay,
movie.
yeah.
If ever reviews Mad Max 2, Road Warrior, and they say, "What is that thing?" That's humongous. Humongous what? And they just like go.
Okay, we've gone too far.
Yeah, it's
People
time
like
to
this.
Poor
stop.
man will never know peace.
Alright, good night, guys.
Night, night.
Good night.
Everyone, I'm off to go Google Raven.
Oh, I'm gonna masturbate 3 times.
Oh, actually, you do it better than I do. You do it better than I do. You just need to master his groans.
Yeah.
Well, good night.
Night.
Good night.